Céline Dion singing both the American and Canadian national anthems. The referee is Mr. Bob Myers, rather. Handling the lines is Ron Finn and Leon Stickle. Playing in goal for the Philadelphia Flyers will be Pelle Lindbergh, with a 2.41 goals against average, 7 wins and 2 losses. In the net for the Quebec Nordiques will be Mario Gosselin with a 3.00 goals against average, 8 wins and 4 losses. And now the voice of the Flyers, Gene Hart.
Just to note that Eddie Van Imp, Bobby Taylor, and I have been paid and selected by the Philadelphia Flyers. Stastny, who became the 4th man in NHL playoff history to get playoff overtime winning goals in consecutive games, is out, with brother Anton on the right, Alain Côté on the left, with Normand Rochefort and Mario Marois, the Nordique captain at defense. The Flyers go Crosman and Marsh as they control the draw to our right. And up front, they have a new line of Davy Poulin with Derek Smith and Rich Sutter, seeing just his 3rd game action in the playoffs. Puck comes out of the Philadelphia zone. Stastny bumps off Rich Sutter, and it's played by Marois through off Anton Stastny's stick, rolling around behind the Philadelphia net. Marsh cuts off Anton Stastny, tries to clear up along the near side, does, and an outlet pass is blocked. Marois loses Poulin. He's got a 2-on-1 in front of drive. Oh, and it's just good, tight, short side save by goaltender Gosselin in the first half minute of action.
Well, I'll tell you, it was an excellent opportunity. The puck was flipped up along the boards, and Marois didn't see it. Didn't have an idea. And, of course, with Poulin's speed, you only have to give him a half a stride, and he's away. Poulin got a good position on Marois, took the shot on Gosselin, and Gosselin made a real nice save on it, going down and saving it on the short side. But the big chance goes to Philadelphia the first 30 seconds of this hockey game.
All right, Philadelphia now will bring out Ron Sutter with Patterson and Tocchet. Defensively, McCrimmon and Howe. And the Nordiques go with Hunter, Goulet, and Kumpel, who was injured and sat out the last 2 periods of Sunday. Now we got a battle, Pat Price and Rick Tocchet.
That was right off the face-off. They're just pushing and shoving at one another. Price, the defenseman, was standing back off Tocchet. Now they got their gloves off and getting a couple of jabs in early. The linesmen are kind of standing back away now, letting the two of them just maybe work this thing out a little bit themselves if they could. Once they go to the ice or they realize there's not going to be much more happening, you'll have the linesmen move in rather quickly.
Well, I think that answered the question I talked to you before the game started, Eddie, whether we were going to have a more aggressive game.
Yeah, I got a feeling you're right. In fact, Tocchet's catching Price with a couple of straight right hands over the top now, but no damage done. But I think you're going to see a physical style game here tonight. That tires you out too, doesn't it?
Boy, I'll say it certainly does. Pat Price, the veteran, and Rick Tocchet, the rookie, will be getting major penalties.
We have just 30 seconds played with no score. First period, Flyers and Nordiques.
Well, Rick Tocchet of the Flyers, Pat Price of the Nordiques pick up the first penalties of the game, and they'll be majors for fighting. And it comes at the 30-second mark.
There's a shot right off the draw by Mark Howe. Still Sutter out along with brother Rich and Joe Patterson with McCrimmon and Howe back as the Nordiques. Bruce Bell at the Flyer line is bumped off. Puck up for grabs. Ron Sutter accidentally bumps off Howe, but McCrimmon's there to clear it to center ice. Flyers come through along the near side. Howe over the line. Left circle Whistler wide and high the short side. Back to the right point. Rich Sutter keeps it in, and then Ron shot in on is steered to the near side by Gosselin. Nordiques fail to get out. The Flyers wheel it around behind the net. It's cleared away by Mann, and Mann's going to get a penalty, and it's going to be for cross-checking Ron Sutter. So the Flyers will have a power play at 1:05 of the first period.
Well, this is where the power play really can help you into the game early, as Mann is doing a lot of talking. He's heading towards the Nordique penalty box. He'll pick up a 2-minute minor, I think, for cross-checking, as he got his stick up in the back of the head of Ronnie Sutter. Was going in there, just got the stick up and just hit him in the back of the helmet, knocking the player to the ice. So as a result, the Flyers are going to have their first power play opportunity. Time of that penalty is 1 minute and 5 seconds into the first period. Mann, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
He did not play very much in the first game, and I think with that fight, Michel Bergeron probably feels that there will be a much more aggressive game as well, and that's what Mann plays his best, when it is an aggressive contest. So he might see more action out there.
Flyers were 0 for 4 on Sunday night on the advantage. They are 8 for 44 on the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Nordiques have given up 13 power play goals and 59 short. Bergen, Zezel, Sinisalo along with Prop as the point man, and Howe. There's a shovel pass, and Howe was just able to keep it in. Down goes Marois, but Prop keeps it in the offensive right corner to Bergen. Bergen holds at the hash marks. Now into the circle, fakes a drive, and then shoots it wide. Howe picks it off at the left point. Closes to the center of the ice as he's challenged by Gillis. Right corner, Bergen in front. Rebound off the quick shot by Sinisalo was wide. Now Bergen into the corner. Out of that corner, there's a play in front and a shot wide. This time by Sinisalo. Flyers more aggressive than they were in the entire first game. In this opening half minute of their power play, the Nordiques finally pick it off and send it down. Howe back with Prop and Zezel, Bergen, and Sinisalo. The Nordiques go with Ashton and Gillis, and they have Marois back with Bell. Over the line, Zezel is tripped up. Gillis picks it off and ices it. Zezel on that one-and-one, the challenge, the defenseman got all but a knee through, and that was enough to take him off the play, and the Nordiques send it down with a minute remaining on the advantage. Right-winging a pass. Coming up the middle, Philadelphia's Joe Patterson over the line. Holds is bumped right off the puck by Normand Rochefort. The Nordiques cleared to the near side. Bad play by Gillis, dumped into the offensive right corner by the Flyers, but Hackthorne can't control it, and the Nordiques ice it. Lenny Hackthorne seeing action for the first time this playoff series. Crosman now works the puck out with 36 seconds on the advantage. Joe Patterson falls down, is not privy to the pass, and then it's Mueller along with Brad Maxwell to send it down the ice. So the power play that started so ferociously in the first half minute now is quieted down. Hackthorne up on the near side, circles to the far wing. He's got a man with him, Sinisalo over the line. Up the middle, there's a play. Patterson a dump shot. Craven tries to center. It's bumped off. Flyers trying to dig it out, and it comes to the near side and is sent to center ice. Now Thomas Eriksson is challenged by Hunter. Is bumped, is able to poke but not out. It's cleared into Hunter, offensive left corner. Drives a bad angle shot in on goaltender Lindbergh as the penalty is over, and the Nordiques weathered the early storm. Flyers out of their own right wing corner. It's played up through at center ice. Flyers shoveling through. Derek Smith takes it in all by himself past Rochefort. Attempts the shot. It is bumped off. Now Maxwell puts it up through to J.F. Surveillez at center ice by himself. Now he's joined on the far side by Anton Stastny, whose shot is wide. And Poulin will pick it off along his own left wing and through at center ice. Here comes McCrimmon over the line. Derek Smith is held off beautifully by the back checking on the near side. Then into the offensive corner behind the net goes Red Sutter. Tries to clear it off to McCrimmon, but the Nordiques wrap it to their left side. Picked up by Crosman. Into the slot. Rich Sutter, a backhand pass behind the net to Derek Smith. Smith in front. It slips through to Poulin. At the circle, a drive right on. And Marois is equal to that, and Anton Stastny gets it to center ice. The shot's on, 3-0 Philadelphia, but again, no cigar as Poulin can't handle the pass into the zone. But following it up is Derek Smith, who's hooked by J.F. Sauvé, who takes the puck, tries to wind it around to the far side, and it hits Poulin. Deflects out of the rink when we have a stoppage with 4:10 gone, first period from Le Colisée. Quebec and the Flyers are scoreless. Play on as the Nordiques misfire at center ice. Howe's pass slips through everyone, but linesman Ron Finn says there is a play, so the Nordiques forced to keep it in action behind their own net. Bell up on the left side. Cote will come along with Alain Lemieux, who did not dress in the first game. Prop then takes it away to Patterson. Patterson fights through two checks, the second by Will Paymont, then rips it down behind Gosselin, who tries to clear out. It's kicked behind the Nordique net by Patterson, centered by Zezel. Late move by Sinisalo, and Goulet takes it out through to Paymont at center ice. He's bumped off, and the Flyers turn back, and we're going to get a penalty. And it's going to be against Philadelphia for pulling down Alain Lemieux. We have a power play coming up, 4:58 gone, first period. There is no score.
Well, Joe Patterson picks up the penalty for hooking. It comes at 4:58 as he pulled down the Quebec player behind the puck after, but he was just holding him. The player just fell down. Not a real strong penalty call.
Nordiques 0 for 2 on the advantage. Sauvé over the line with Goulet. Goes into the left corner. Sauvé winds it around to the right point to Anton Stastny. Back there with Marois. Marois to Stastny, top of the right circle. He's got brother Peter at the side. There's a shot right on by Marois. And Lindbergh got the 5-hole close quickly to deflect it into the corner. Flyers take it off and lose it. Man in front. Shot by Stastny, blocked off the body of Brad Morris as Anton Stastny was in at tight range. Marois at the point. Loses it at center ice as it bounced over the stick. The Flyers have Poulin out there with Prop and defensively Crossman with Marsh. And now they bring out Craven with Ron Sutter along with Crosman and Marsh. Marois off the far boards, lost, and Philadelphia with a 2-on-1. Over the line, up the middle, there's a pass, but it's deflected away from Craven by the back-checking of Anton Stastny, and Ron Sutter had no shot. The Nordiques bedeviled by the Flyer forechecking. Now it's Craven into the corner. Ron Sutter, look, has no shot, and then passes. That's a bad one. Stastny picks it off. Flyers get 2 men caught, 3-on-2 for the Nordiques. Peter Stastny over the line, rink-wide pass, drive, that time by Goulet. And Lindbergh dove out to his right to smother the shot with 51 seconds remaining on the Nordique power play.
Boy, Pelle Lindbergh really moved over quickly. Goulet was off to a pretty bad angle, but the thing was that the pass was quick and the release was just as quick, so Lindbergh had to be fast to move from left to right, making the save with 51 seconds remaining on the power play advantage for Quebec. Shots on goal 3-2 in favor of Philadelphia, and I think you might see a lot more shots as well in this game, a lot more scoring opportunities.
You know, man, it's interesting. Came into this season with 230 games played and just 23 points scored, but 640 penalty minutes. He has no points in the playoffs and 34 penalty minutes. Nordiques Maxwell at the right point, throwing over his man Craven, who blocks the pass and then fails to get it out. Tries on the second opportunity. 3 Flyers along the near side, and Howe will come along with Poulin over the line. He's got Howe as the trailer, tries to come inside Bell. As he penetrated the line, Bell took it away, took a bump. The Nordiques flying up on the left side. They've got Paymont with Hunter and Brett Ashton. Ashton over the line, tries to drop the Paymont, does, and then gets it back on the deflection to the left point. And it skips through Bell, and boom, down goes Poulin, and we're going to have a penalty against the Nordiques, a delay one. Flyers over the line, up the middle. They got an extra man out there. Oh, they're not sharp on the shot, and then it's picked up by Maxwell, and we'll have the penalty called, and they'll be even at 5 aside with 13-14 remaining in a scoreless first period.
While the Nordiques find rookie defenseman Bruce Bell picks up a hooking call at 6:46. And once 13 seconds have ticked away on the clock, Joe Patterson comes out. The Flyers will have a power play, but Bell had to pull Dave Poulin down because Poulin was on his way to another 2-on-1 situation for Philadelphia, shorthanded.
Bell with 21 minutes on the playoff year. Joe Patterson before him now has 30. The Nordiques had 3 of the game's 5 penalties called in the first 6 minutes and 46 seconds by referee Brian Lewis, as the pace is quite a bit faster than on Sunday night as both teams are ready. Moeller is out along with Price and Gillis with Cote. The Flyers Zezel and Sinisalo with Crossman and Todd Bergen. Flyers getting set for the power play as they have the extra forward, and now Zezel is tossed out. And it'll be, let's see. Now Sinisalo wants to take the right point to send in Bergen on the face-off against Alain Cote. Ron Finn drops, puck to the point. The Flyers don't gamble, and back comes Gillis against Crosman down that left wing side into the zone. At the hash marks, loses control. Crosman takes him in the corner. Now trying to kick it free is Gillis. Flyers have 2 men behind the net, and Sinisalo outlets, and they've got a break at center ice. The man behind the defense was the man coming out of the penalty box, Joe Patterson. He's at the left circle. Doesn't get a good drive on, as the Flyers now have missed an opportunity in a couple of shots. Zezel along the near side, into the left wing corner. Sinisalo back to Patterson. Patterson out of that corner, tries to go back to the point, but Alain Cote is a master checker. Was able to break that puck up and then went offside at center ice. Flyers on the power play as they roll it in, and the Nordiques just shoot it out. Philadelphia now 0 for 5 against the Nordiques on their 6th opportunity in the period plus 7 minutes. Crosman up on the near side, hits Bergen. Zezel out along with Propp and Sinisalo, and as the Flyers hit the Nordiques line, they're called for offside with 1:08 left on the penalty to the Nordiques' Bruce Bell.
They're just not able to penetrate on the power play. They can't get in that Nordique zone and seem to set up and get that one man open. The Nordiques are aggressive as far as checking the Flyers back in their own zone, and then they have their defensemen standing up in the blue line with the wingers coming back, so it's difficult for the Flyers to move the puck in. They're going to have to dump it in and have somebody going to the puck to go and get it.
Zezel, Sinisalo, and Propp with Crosman and Bergen. Nordiques, Ashton and Hunter with Marois and Rochefort. The Nordiques win the draw, and Rochefort's just wristed all the way down. Lindbergh sets it up behind the net to our right. 1 minute on the power play. Crossman working up on the left side. His challenge gets through 2 men, Ashton and Hunter, over the line on the right side, into the corner. Now is held up, and there's the break by Hunter on the left side against Bergen. He's going to try to turn him, and then skates off as Bergen just cut him off the play, and then the Flyers just throw it away at center. After a very sharp opening now, the Flyers are missing the opportunity, and then they steal Bergen at center with Prop. Over the line, rolls it up the middle. Prop tries a roll shot, and Gosselin steers it to the far corner. There's Sinisalo, 2 men in front. Shot blocked off, rebound, smothered, and Sinisalo can't follow it up. Tries to take off Hunter on the offensive right boards. They poke it to the point. Howe then tried to shovel it near side for Bergen, but Ashton broke it up the center ice with 18 seconds on the advantage. Flyers dump it in. Gosselin, as the Flyers change, gets it off to Rochefort, who drills to center ice with 10 seconds remaining. On the power play, puck in the Flyers zone. McCrimmon out to the left side to Howe. Right-winging a pass. Hackborn in full flight at the line against Price. Hold. Left side. Howe in. Fumbles to drive, and it bounces to the near side as he appeared to be wide open and then had the shot partially blocked. In front, they try to kick it. Howe then loses it as the Nordiques will not let them operate in front. The puck is kicked to the blue line and then out by Alain Cote. Flyers drill it right back in as the team's at full strength. Penalty box is empty as Price and Tocchet are out for their majors. And here come the Nordiques. Gillis up the middle with Cote on the near side. Peter Stastny. Cote. Then the pass to Gillis, and his shot is high and wide. And the Flyers come along the near side and get it up to Derek Smith at center. Rolls it in. Marois doesn't get it. And on the near side, the Flyers battle, but the Nordiques poke it away from 2 forecheckers. An outlet to Rochefort, who'll come with Anton Stastny at his left. Drive! And from the blue line, that 60-foot Whistler was kicked to the far side. Anton Stastny looks for the rebound. It's kicked to the blue line. Peter Stastny has it. Bumps it into the corner. The Nordiques try to make a play. Crosman then is tipped to the puck, and the Flyers take it away. It kicks behind their net. Crosman a wraparound to the point. Moeller tries to keep it in, and it bounces through him to center ice. 10:05 remaining scoreless first period. After the Flyers had 3 quick shots in the first 3 minutes, they've been held off the board since, as Lindbergh will stop the center ice drive and get it up on the near side to Carson. At the red line, Carson is cut off, and the Nordiques are checking very well now, and they've got Carson and Will Playmont going at it.
They're trying to get some good positioning. Will Paymont pulling Carson and throwing him around like a rag doll, but no punches have been thrown. It all started with Paymont holding Carson up at the blue line, with Carson trying to get 3. They both threw punches at each other, then decided to drop the gloves and go at it. So it was more of a wrestling match, and this will come at 10:10 of this opening period, and they'll more likely get majors.
While we wait for the penalty calls, we'll tell you, 9:50 remain in the first period from the Colisée. The Nordiques and the Flyers are scoreless.
Let's pause now for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF-TV 29 in Philadelphia.
While Lindsey Carson picks up an additional 2-minute minor, it'll go with a 5-minute major. Paymont just the major for fighting. So I guess they feel that Carson was the one who started the fight, so he'll probably pick up the 2 for roughing. So that'll give Quebec their second opportunity on the power play.
Carson, 16 minutes on the playoff. Paymont now with 42. The penalties are even at 4. The Nordiques on their second power play. They are 0 for 3 on this series. And on the playoffs, they are 13 for 62. Elgo Goulet left with Anton and Peter Stastny, Sauvé, and Marois. And I believe first time this unit that was so effective against Canadiens has been out on ice as a 5-some against Philadelphia, with Todd Bergen over to serve the minor penalty whistle to Lindsey Carson. Flyers have Prop out with Ron Sutter and Howe with McCrimmon. Face off at center ice along the near boards. It kicks back to Marois. The J.F. Sauvé, who despite his small size has got a big shot. And now the Nordiques' Peter Stastny wheeling in his own zone with Marois, the outlet left side. And Sauvé will come through and put it on the left side. McCrimmon is beaten by Goulet, shoves to Anton Stastny by himself. And it bounced over his stick, too hot to handle. But the Flyers were caught as for some reason they left him alone. Now Prop over the line, right circle, backhander. Didn't see Ron Sutter on the near side as the backhander was wide. Then on the near boards, the Nordiques have to get away from the sport check swarming of both Ron Sutter and Prop and get across ice. And again, Sauvé will come up, this time with Goulet on his left and Peter Stastny on his right. Hits Goulet, pass back, beautifully taken off by Ron Sutter, who takes and spins it down the ice.
Speed has been the big asset for Philadelphia in their penalty killing, and they're really jumping on the Nordiques quickly.
To the near side, Craven on now with Poulin. Marois bumped off. It comes out in front. Craven with a shot. Rebound. Oh, and a shot, third one wide. They had Gosselin hung up the dry shot, Poulin, score! Short-handed goal.
Boy, you talk about mass confusion in your own zone. The power play, there was a good example of it. The Nordiques didn't know what they were trying or what they were doing as the Flyers were just buzzing around that net. They had 3 or 4 players in that goal crease. All of them were watching the puck. None of them were watching the man, and Davy Poulin was there when that puck squirted through. He was all by himself, and he had 4 Nordiques within 6 feet of him, and all of them were mesmerized by the puck. They were following the puck around, and Poulin was right out the slot. When the puck arrived, that whole side of the net was open, and Davy Poulin jammed it home. So it was a short-handed goal by the Flyers as we see Poulin head towards the Flyers locker room.
That's Poulin's first goal of the playoffs. Murray Craven, the lone assist. It'll come at 11:16.
That's the Flyers' second shorthanded goal of the year of the playoffs. Prop got one, you remember, in that 5-3 win at the Island. So the Nordiques still on the power play as the Flyers draw first blood. They have Alain Lemieux at center ice, Hunter on the right, on the left, Brent Ashton with Bell and Maxwell at the points. The Flyers will go with Sinisalo and Ron Sutter, Marsh and Crossman. Flyers win the draw. The Nordiques have 52, now 50 seconds on the power play. Flyers just do get it out off center ice and Dale Hunter's stick. Maxwell will go left side, and Bruce Bell leads the charge at the line. Down that left side, drills it into the zone. It comes out in front. And Lindbergh on the same thing. Loses it to Ashton. And they feed to the open side of the net. Lemieux, and then a shot in by Brad Maxwell. He turns on the rebound. Almost a similar play with the bad bounce out in front. Now Maxwell, point shot, knocked down in front. And the Flyers will come out as the point men have had the opportunity, and Philadelphia dumps it in on Gosselin, who hangs, drops off to his left, and spinning around is Bell up on the near side, slows down, works off the far boards to center ice, and it's to Philadelphia's Crossman with 8 seconds, 7-6 remaining on the Nordique power play. It's dumped off Bell at center ice, in full flight through into the zone. Ashton with a drive, pick save Philadelphia, kicked in front again, they whack at it. And finally, it's Prop up through to Bergen. Short-handed breakaway, but he's offside. Now the penalty is over, and we had Dale Hunter and Crossman staring daggers at one another at center ice.
I think it was Prop and Hunter as they were, Hunter was, pardon me, not Prop, Brian, or Dave Poulin and Hunter were getting their sticks up at each other as they were coming out of the zone. But the puck was bouncing around there. Pelle Lindbergh made a nice save, and the thing is that it kept bouncing out in that slot area, and the Nordiques could not get their stick on it to get a good shot away. With 7:41 remaining in the first period, Flyers up 1-0. You know, when Poulin making that move towards the dressing room, and might have thought he might have injured that knee again, but he's back out there.
Nordique bench directly on the far side of us. Out there now is Philadelphia. Hackborn on with Prop and Rich Sutter. The Nordiques Moeller gets it at center ice, drills it into the Flyer zone. It's dumped in and chase as both teams have been shaky. Flyers give it away. Gillis wraps around to the near side. Prop looks, takes it, tries to skim it out. He can't, but the Flyers do. Hackborn had a 2-on-1 with Rich Sutter, bounced off a skate, and the Nordiques control Muller back with Pat Price. They roll it up on the left wing side. Cote can't handle it, but the Flyers just give it away at center. And on the far boards, it's played by McCrimmon through into the zone. Whacked to the far side, and then on the second try behind the Nordique net by Rich Sutter. To the near side, Kumpel is bumped by Markow. They jam the puck up. It's kicked free, shot wide by Prop through the screen set up by Hackborn. The Nordiques get it up to Cote on the left wing at center ice, challenging McCrimmon. Over the line, into the left wing corner, looks to center, tied up. Now wants to get it back to the point. Instead, it ricochets behind the net. Wheeled up on the near side where it's picked off by Moeller. Shot in on the net, deflected by Kumpel, as the Nordiques have been getting point opportunities and screens in front. Then Rich Sutter at center ice will just flip it in, and the Flyers bring out a new unit. They have Ron Sutter out, along with Tockett and Joe Patterson. Marsh there with Crossman as the Nordiques. Price sends it all the way down. There'll be an icing call against the Nordiques. 6:27 remaining first period. Flyers 1 and the Nordiques no score.
Conversation with him, as was a couple of the Nordiques. I guess they want to make sure that Myers catches everything that's away from the puck.
Man along with Goulet and Hunter. The Flyers go Tockett with Ron Sutter and Patterson. There's Goulet on the far side, cannot come out, and the Nordiques will try again from their own left corner. Rochefort almost overskates. just lifts it up to Goulet on the left wing side, and he rips it through past Hunter down the ice. It'll go in on goaltender Lindbergh, so play carries on. There is Marsh behind the net. Mann is in front, but no serious challenge as Marsh swings out to the left side of the net and off the near boards in the center ice. Marois blocks and then feeds back cross ice into his own zone for Rochefort at his own left circle. Right side to Marois, looks up at center ice. Mann can't handle it, nor can Hunter, and it's poked away by Tocchet back to the Philadelphia line, where Crossman chops it down, and then puts it up at center, where the Nordiques pick off at their line. Marois with pressure in there by Patterson is knocked down and sits on the puck. Good effort by Joe Patterson on the forechecking.
That is something that the Flyers did not do in Game 1. That was to really hurry the Quebec defense. The defensemen for the Nordiques had a lot of time inside their zone. They were able to turn and face the play. And any time a defenseman in the National Hockey League has a chance to make a play, he's going to make the right one 99% of the time. And this time Marois was rushed by Patterson, and he had to freeze the puck. Also, Mario Marois will be our first period intermission guest.
From New York to Colorado to Vancouver to Quebec, Mario Marois?
Just New York to Vancouver to Quebec.
All right. Around to the near side. Flyers pick it off. Craven pass into the slot. Zezel can't handle it. Peter Stastny comes left side for Alain Cote. Back looking for Anton, but it slides into the Philadelphia zone to Howe. Off the right boards and into center ice, where it's played by Price to Cote to Anton Stastny, who loops back at his own line. Puts through on the near side for Peter Stastny, who was harassed all the way by Howe. Howe then behind the net. Whoop! Peter Stastny takes it away. In front, Anton Stastny fan. You're right. That's why Howe hesitated. Flyers back. Craven down that left wing side. Wants to get past Brad Maxwell. Does into the left wing corner. Cote is there to sneak the puck away, but Zezel picks it off. In on the net. It hits the skate back into the near corner. Nordiques wrap it around to their left side, where Craven bumps with Cote. In there goes Philadelphia's McCrimmon, but can't contain it, in the Nordiques through at center ice. Anton Stastny against Marsh at drive, and Marsh dove to block it. Anton behind the net. Tries to center it. Knocked down, but in goes the second brother, Peter, behind the net. Ties up Rich Sutter. Marsh in there with Anton. Now they try to break that puck free. Peter Stastny has it. Cut off by McCrimmon as Peter Zezel took down Anton and Peter Stastny. The Flyers ice it, and this time, as it's reached by Rochefort, the call will be made. 4:22 remaining first period from Quebec. Flyers 1 and the Nordiques no score.
Solid game on defense for the Quebec Nordiques in this whole playoffs. A pretty aggressive hockey player as well. He's used his body extremely well, and he's made sure that if you're going in the corner or line of boards, you're going to pay the price if you want to come out with that puck.
The only goal of the game, Dave Poulin shorthanded, his first of the playoffs, and Craven 11-16, while Lindsey Carson was serving part of a double penalty for roughing and fighting. Those penalties have been served, except for Carson still serving the major. Now back Moeller at the point. Looks, has no shot, wraps it around behind the net. Gillis was knocked down in front by Crosman. On the far side, Rich Sutter is taken off, and the Nordiques clear it behind. There is a play by Crosman. He's taken out by Gillis. Comes to the near side to Derek Smith. Smith is bent by Moeller. The Nordiques try to keep it in. Then it bounces off a body to center ice, and we're going to get a stoppage of play. And on the trailer, it looks like Gillis and Dougie Crosman.
Well, again, that was in behind the play when this altercation started. The play was already going up ice as both players are down on the ice, kind of thrashing around with the linesman trying to separate them, and the referee just standing off to the side, keeping all the players back into the neutral zone. 4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the first period. The Flyers lead 1-0 on Davey Poulin's shorthanded goal that got the battlers apart. Crossman was the Philadelphia Flyer, was involved along with
Paul Gillis.
So Gillis is heading towards the penalty box as well as Dougie Crossman.
Davey Poulin went to the dressing room this time, and I'm just wondering, Eddie, whether that time he was pulled down by Bruce Bell on that shorthanded break might have given him a little trouble again, even though he did score later on the shorthanded stint.
Well, let's hope not. But Gillies and also Crossman, both just involved in that altercation, were sent to the respective Flyers benches. The Flyers will have a limited number of season tickets available for next year. If you've never owned season tickets, now's the time to ask. Just call the Flyers tomorrow and have your names placed on the list for season tickets. The number is 215-465-4500. That's 215-465-4500 for Flyers season tickets.
Well, Gillis and Crossman each received 7 minutes, a minor for high sticking and majors for fighting.
Right off the face-off, again, we got Hunter and Ronnie Sutter going at one another. And we got some more penalties coming up here. That was even before the puck was dropped.
Well, it's going to be a slash against Hunter, and I guess the same against Ron Sutter.
They were going at one another in the first game here in this playoff series, so they just picked it up where they left off the other night here in Game 2.
And that will make 7 penalties apiece in the first period.
2 minutes chacun pour avoir 5
First game had 10
à 15 minutes, 58 secondes.
6 to Quebec, but that was for the game.
Time of that penalty was 15 minutes and 58 seconds. Double minor, pardon me, minor to Ron Sutter and also Dale Hunter.
All right. Time of those penalties, 15:58. And with this, they will skate a man short at center ice. The play goes. Philadelphia, McCrimmon and Howe out there with Zezel and prop. The Nordiques with Goulet and Peter Stastny. And Rochefort, as they get through on the right side, the prop, tries to cut inside Moeller, who just taps it away neatly. It was in a situation like this with Goulet and Stastny out that they got the overtime winning goal on Sunday night. Puck back in control of Philadelphia. As on the near side, a pass goes into the zone. Broken down. It pops up in the air. Prop tries to take it and contain it. He's tied up for Goulet. Peter Stastny tries to get a tree and does down that left side. Is screened off, and then as the Flyers roll it in, it kicks to the near side. Moeller right on in. Shot wide. And that was sort of a strange play, and it just trickled loose, and Moeller got that big shot in tight on the right side and missed the net. Now the Flyers at center. Here comes Pat Price through. Lifts it into the zone. Behind the Philadelphia net, Howe will take it as he's out with McCrimmon, Hackborn, and Sinisalo. A lift pass through. Marois knocks it down. They try to go the other way. Sinisalo steals up the middle. He's tripped up, and we're going to have a hip and trip penalty against Pat Price. Power play, Philadelphia.
I don't think there's any doubt about that play. Sinisalo had Price beaten, and he put the stick out and just tripped him. So as a result, the Flyers will have a power play opportunity. Coming up, just Sinisalo just stepped around the outside of Price. He just got a stick out there and just put Sinisalo down to the ice. So Pat Price will get 2 minutes for tripping, and the Flyers will have a power play opportunity with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Flyers are leading the Nordiques 1-0 on Dave Poulin's first goal of the playoffs.
For Price's second penalty of the game, he picked up one right at the outset at half-minute mark in a fight with Rick Tocchet. He has 49 minutes now on the playoffs. And the Nordiques have 8 of the game's 15 penalties. And Philadelphia will be on its third power play. They're 0 for 2 on the night, 0 for 6 on this series, but they've scored a shorthanded goal tonight and lead it 1-0. 0 for 6 on this series, and on the playoffs, the Flyers now 8 for 46. Zezel, along with Sinisalo on the left, Todd Bergen on the right with Thomas Eriksson, and it's Stastny, Moeller, and Rochefort who gets it from Stastny, finds an opening, and as he gets some operating room and drills it all the way down. The penalties to Mark Hunter, or Dale Hunter, excuse me, and Ron Sutter have 35 seconds to run. The one to Price, 1:45. As Bergen penetrates into the right wing corner nicely against Moeller, then overskates the puck. Gosselin's going to try to clear it out and does himself.
That was a heads-up play by the Quebec goaltender.
As the referee went by Michel Bergeron, he held a stick up saying, wasn't that a high sticking call? Flyers are wraparound. Gosselin slows it down. Sinisalo in the near corner to the point. Reading it was Ashton, but the Flyers go back behind the net. Open man on the far side as Zezel gets it to Sinisalo. Open man was Bergen. Now it's Eriksson. Bergen is there. Drive! That was blocked by Rochefort. Into the left circle, Sinisalo had no shot. Out comes Hunter. Out comes Ron Sutter. Oh, there was a top play to Bergen, and it was just broken up by Dale Hunter as he comes through at the Flyer line. Over the line against Ron Sutter, a shot. And Lindbergh covered that, and then Dale Hunter went into that corner very hard against Ron Sutter as the Flyers have 53 seconds on a 5-skaters advantage. Shot from the blue line by Bergen. Rebound by Maxwell. Tipped but kept in along the left side by Prop. Trop now has Howe at the point, gives him the puck. Shot blocked into the far corner. Bergen cuts off Cote. Zezel tries to make a move, but first there is Marois to backhand it down the ice. Eventually, the Flyers have got to start putting this puck in on the power play, or they have to pay some price. Up on the right side, it's shoveled through to Craven. He's double-teamed. Maxwell takes it, tries to lift it out, but puts it into the seats far side. And so with 1:07 remaining in the first period, 18 seconds on the penalty to Quebec's Pat Price, and the Flyers on top 1-0. They'll have an offensive right circle face-off. We've had 15 penalties, 8 to Quebec. The Shots Flyers 8-6.
Here's another playoff special from the Showcase stores. It's a white pullover Flyers windbreaker that's just perfect for the cool spring evenings or beach wear. These jackets regularly sell for $24.95, but you can pick one up for $19.95. You stop at any Showcase store and say that Gene Hart, Bobby Taylor, or myself, Ed Van Him, sent you. There are 8 Showcase stores to serve you, including one at the King Court of Prussia.
Play is on. 9 seconds on the advantage, 1 minute in the period. It's lifted through on the near side. Flyers prop is hit hard on a check by Randy Moeller. Boom. Now Rochefort pushed off Hackborn, but it's prop at an angle. In front, Gosselin has shot. The rebound save. Rebound shot over the top of the net by Philadelphia's Murray Craven. Oh, the Flyers a great chance there to go up by 2. Then it's played through on the far side by Peter Stastny, looking for Anton. Flyers take it up the middle. Hackborn left side to Craven. Shot from the left point through the screen, blocked, and it's Cote out to Anton Stastny on the left wing at center ice. Tries to get his way through McCrimmon, cannot. He's cut off, and then Howe comes to the near side, plays it up at center ice to Lindsey Carson. With 15 seconds left, the Flyers rip it in. Around to the near side, Maxwell tries to get it out. Flyers run center over skates. Marsh from the point tried to keep it in, but it just trickled over, and as he pumped it back in, Ron Finn on the far side, the linesman said offside.
Brad Marsh was really trying to keep that puck in, but just could not do it as the puck was outside. Just prior to that, the Flyers had a good opportunity going to the net. Murray Craven was right there for the rebound, was there the second time, right back down. He tried to put it up over top of the fallen goaltender, Mario Gosselin, but he just shot it wide of the net. But when you're going to the net, Gosselin's been leaving the rebounds there, and this is exactly what happened. When Craven was able to get that first and second opportunity, there was no defenseman in between him and goaltender Gosselin.
Peter and Anton Stastny on with Brent Ashton. And the Flyers go with a line of Rich and Ron Sutter and Carson. They drill it in. Gosselin grabs, and with the play coming to an end with the puck in the Quebec zone, first period, the Shots 11-6 Philadelphia. The penalties 8 of the 15 to Quebec. The score on the goal.
Eddie Van Him.
Back here at Le Colisée in Quebec, Flyers leading the Nordiques 1-0 as we get ready to start this second period of play. Gosselin the nets for the Nordiques and Kelly Lindbergh in the net for Philadelphia.
Well, as we surveyed the ice with the teams coming on, Davey Poulin, who skated to the dressing room before the end of the first period completed, has not returned either to the ice or to the bench. And we have had no report on the disposition of the Flyers captain. So they'll go now at center ice with Ron, Sutter, Carson, and Tocchet, along with McCrimmon and Howe, and the Nordiques, Marois and Rochefort, with Hunter, Paymon, and Michel Goulet. Flyers flip into the right, and it is Marois around to Paymon, tries to tip out. It's kept into the left wing corner by Howe, who's held off by Paymon as the Nordiques roll it all the way down the ice. It skips into the Flyers' defensive right circle, taken by McCrimmon, and as Hunter skates by, puts it up through at center ice off the stick of Carson, but slides all the way down in on Gosselin as play continues. The goaltender to Marois lifts out to Goulet, who is knocked down. The Flyers get it into the near side man in front. Pass and a shot by Tocchet as Lindsey Carson was at the open side of the net. Now Howe in, dribbles a bounce pass in on the net. It's cut off by Marois, lifts it up on the near side, and now Goulet should come along with Rochefort, the defenseman, and Paymon on the right wing, whose drive is off the right elbow of Lindbergh. The rebound fired off the boards to the far side, and Ron Sutter will try to come out with Rochefort, who takes the puck away beautifully and gives it up at center ice to Philadelphia's Howe. He rolls it in. Howe is double-teamed by Moeller, who goes down, and Paymon, but the Nordiques control as the Flyers now bring out Marsh with Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson, seeing his first bit of action in this series, has a wraparound to the far side, and it's picked off at center ice by the Nordiques. Price then to center. It's kicked back in off the skate of the Flyers. Aggressive checking Joe Patterson for the offside. 1:21 gone, second period. 1-0 Philadelphia, and we still have 2 men in the penalty box.
Joey Patterson has picked up 1 assist in this playoff so far, but he's been used mainly as a real strong checker and has been a very aggressive player for Philadelphia. He's gained an awful lot of confidence with his stint in Hershey, and especially after Billy Barber went down there to coach the Hershey Bears, Patterson really performed at his best.
The penalty men in the box, Paul Gillis of the Nordiques, and Philadelphia's Doug Crosman. Flyers at center ice. Erickson gives it away. Anton Stastny up the middle into the left wing corner. Has Sauvé in front. Rolls it off the backside of the Flyer net to the right point to Moeller. Back into the offensive right corner, which tipped behind the net. In there fighting for it is Sauvé along with Brad Marsh. Now Philadelphia's in there along Peter Zezel and Peter Stastny. Zezel up on the far side. Check by Patterson as Moeller, and the puck slides up the ice into the Nordique end. Quebec retreats and winds it around behind the net to their own left corner, and Price up to the line, where it's tapped to Peter Stastny by brother Anton down that right wing side, and a dump pass is picked off by Zezel. He's bumped by Moeller as the puck slides off the Flyer player's stick into the Nordique end, where the Nordique defenseman Moeller retrieves and just fires it away at center ice. The Flyers march to the right side to Craven. He'll get in along the near side. Winds up and a drive score from the top of the right circle. Murray Craven, and it's 2-0.
Boy, oh boy, did he ever kiss that shot. Peter Zezel moved in front, and it appeared that along with Zezel and the defenseman, Moeller, it might have screened Gosselin as he was moving to his right. The shot came back, but Murray Craven got every bit of that shot, beating Gosselin high over the glove side, and the Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Murray Craven picking up the goal, and for Craven, that's his first of the playoffs.
And first of his career. It comes at 2:18, 2-0 Philadelphia. Maxwell back with Rochefort, and up front they have Alain Lemieux along with Cote. There's a steal in front of the Nordique net. Hackborn on with Craven and Prop. The Nordiques come to center, flip into the offensive left corner. McCrimmon around to the far side, lifts it out, and it's tapped by Prop but not out. Tries to keep it away from the Nordiques. The Flyers get it to Craven. He's got Hackborn. He's got a step. Goes in, tries to beat Rochefort. In front is shot. Another shot. This time by Hackborn as the Nordiques were careless around the front of the net. But now they storm the center. 3 minutes gone, second period, 2-0 Flyers. Lemieux in along the near side. The Flyers break it up. Hackborn gives it away at the point. Maxwell with a high shot off the glass behind Lindbergh to the near side, where Murray Craven gets it up through on the right wing to Brian Prop. Prop angling up the middle. He's going to get an angle to shoot, and it's partially deflected by Maxwell into the near corner. Flyers have a man bumped off, and the Nordiques ice it, and will have the perfunctory chase of the puck and the touch-up by Brad Marsh for the stoppage of play.
Well, Murray Craven at 2:18 of this second period has given the Flyers that 2-0 lead, and it was a long shot. We talked about that in game number 1. It appeared that Gosselin had trouble with long shots. He's very, very quick and very, very good in close. This time Craven shot from the top of the circle, beats him on the glove side for that 2-0 lead.
Bob, you're a goaltender. Why is it that you're so good in close, but where it is obvious out at a distance, it's tougher when you would think being in close you would have to be able to be tougher?
Now, you got more of the angle as a goaler, Gene. They have not much room to shoot at. You're the top of the circle is where your best chance. You have more of the net to shoot at if you're at the top of the circle to the hash marks.
And on those 2 goals by Dave Poulin and Murray Craven, 2 cases of Drake's Cakes to the favorite charity, and $200, $100 for each goal, to the Flyer-Wise Fight for Lives Leukemia Research Fund at Hamilton University. Now the Flyers checking into the offensive corner in front to Derek Smith. Back to the point to Marsh, into the near side. The Flyers have a man cut off Rich Sutter, but it goes to Bergen, offensive right wing corner. Feeds back to the point, but it's cut off by Marois, the Nordique defense, and he'll bring it up the middle of the ice. At the Flyer line, he'll penetrate against Marsh. Into the left wing corner, allowed to penetrate. The pass in front. Rich Sutter loses. The Nordiques go behind the net, but no one there except Bergen. Will come up on the right side to Brad Marsh along with Derek Smith. Marsh at the Nordique line. Tries to split the defense, follows it up around on a dump to the right corner to Bergen. Bergen in front. It hits the side of the net, attempts to center again, and Peter Stastny pulls it away and lifts it up to Sauvé. He's checked, and Goulet picks it up at center ice, and here comes Anton Stastny over the line against Marsh. Drops it back to Price. He's got a man in front, and it was tipped over the net by Philadelphia's Tocchet. The Nordiques try to keep it into the slot. There's a scramble to the point. It's kept in by Marois and then by Moeller at the point. Into the corner, Anton Stastny, no play. And finally, Marsh digs it out and lifts it down the ice. And the Nordiques, as it bounces and rolls into their own zone, make a play. 4:45 gone, second period, 2-0 Philadelphia. Goals, 2 down 1. Over the line, Ron Sutter with... and in front, and there's a shot hit the top of the post off the right side of Gosselin as they have Ron Sutter with Carson. Carson now has Ron Sutter into the left wing corner. Gets a screen from Tocchet, who centers back to the near point. And McCrimmon drives it behind the net. Tocchet digs it out. He's checked by Bell. Dug out by Marois. Rolled up again to McCrimmon, who kicks it into the right wing corner for Lindsey Carson. It bounces off a stick, and Dale Hunter finally gathers in. Flyers had a great chance there. Nice move. Through past Zezel by Hunter, but in that extra move, sent Wilt Paymont down the right side, offside. 5:19 gone, second period from Quebec. Flyers 2 and the Nordiques nothing.
Boy, a lot of times when a goaltender's set for the shot, he's waiting for it. And if it's just redirected or if the guy fails to take the shot, he can handcuff him. Ron Sutter almost did that to Mario Gosselin.
Price out with Maxwell and up front. They've got Gillis with Cote on the right, Ashton on the left. Flyers steal at center. Marsh then lifts it back into the Quebec end as Zezel is out along with Sinisalo and Patterson, Crossman and Marsh. Zezel on the quick rush, took it away from Brad Maxwell, center, but no Philadelphian there. Nordiques to center ice at the Flyer line. Gillis chips it in, deflected away, but not controlled by Philadelphia's Crossman. They lift it toward Lindbergh, and it's off a stick to the far side. Zezel and Ashton go at it. It's tipped behind the net. Zezel tries to keep it away from a centering opportunity. Ashton then has it kicked away by Crossman, who lifted into center ice. Knocked down at the red line and turned back in his own zone by Maxwell through on a Karen pass. Quick shot by Gillis, but offside. The Nordiques, and we're going to have a penalty. And it's a slash against somebody.
Doug Crossman's going to pick up the 2-minute slashing minor. Now Patterson wants a piece of Gillis as well as Brent Ashton. And he might get a piece of that Gillis. In fact, he is. As they both came in there very, very quickly, Doug Crossman slashed it. Brent Ashton, as Ashton took him out along the boards when the puck was trying to be shot out by Philadelphia. And then Gillis and Ashton both came after Crossman. That's when Patterson went after Gillis and ended up on top of him.
Patterson's going after Gillis again, as we've only got the one linesman over there. We've got 3 of the Nordiques and 2 of the Flyers, with Crossman and Ashton already in the penalty box.
Right, we played 6:07 into the second period from Quebec. Flyers 2, Nordiques no score.
While they're sorting out the penalties over at the box, Crossman will pick up a 2-minute minor for slashing. And Gillis and Patterson will pick up penalties as well. And we haven't really seen anybody or any number put up on the board. So it could only be a roughing minor to Gillis or Patterson, or possibly a major for fighting. Well, now Crossman has a 4 minutes up there. Again, it's pretty tough sometimes because all the announcements are made in French here, and Eddie Van Impen, my high school French isn't that good sometimes.
That's an understatement. Maybe we should mention, too, that Davey Poulin, the Flyers team captain and center iceman, has not returned to the players' bench to start the second period.
Ashton is getting a penalty, too, so what has happened, I'm sure, is that Crossman picks up for 2 for slashing, 2 for roughing. Ashton would pick up 2 for roughing. Then with Gillis and Patterson picking up major penalties. This all coming at 6:07. Well, Brian Mulrooney to the far right, along with Marcel Aubieux, the president of the Nordiques. Brian Mulrooney, of course, the Prime Minister of Canada. The first time that the Prime Minister of Canada has visited Quebec City in the fact that he's watching a hockey game here. Been here on the political trail, on the campaign trail, but it's also the first Stanley Cup playoff game that he's attended since being elected.
Gillis, 63 minutes on the playoffs. Brent Ashton now for the Nordiques has 11. Crossman 24 with his double minor, and Patterson 35. They'll play at 5 aside for 2 minutes with a quick shot from the blue line wide by Sinisalo. And then at the expiration of the 1 penalty to Ashton, the minor, the Nordiques will be on their 3rd power play. They are trailing 2-0. They've only had 6 shots in the game, none in this second period, as they have Marois back along with Rochefort And Peter Stastny with Anton Stastny, the Flyers, with Eriksson, Marsh, Sinicello, and Craven. Now the Nordiques give it away. Craven over the line, cannot penetrate as he was tied up by Anton Stastny. Now comes through at center to Eriksson. Up the middle, Craven holds. Shot over the tight left glove high side of goaltender Gosselin. And boy, again, Craven threatened to make this 3-0 as the Nordiques shoot it down. It's not an icing. And so the Flyers, Eriksson has to circle around behind the net as Goulet is out there now, along with Dale Hunter. And there is a play by Craven, crossing it at his own right circle for Thomas Eriksson. And up to center ice, Hackborn has it. He's out with Craven. And now McCrimmon, along with Howe, as the Flyers penetrate. But the Nordiques take it off. Hunter has it swept off the stick by Philadelphia's McCrimmon right on the Nordique goal. With Ashton now with 40 seconds remaining on his minor as the Nordiques really bedeviled in their own zone by the Flyer forechecking. Out at the point. Howe tries to keep it in. It bounces off a body of the Nordiques 2-on-2. There's a shot from the blue line, high over the top of the net to the left point on the carom. There's a dump in on the net by Price. Out through to Carson, 2-on-1 with Howe. Carson over the line. He's got a backhander, and he shot it badly and wide as he didn't get all of it. And now the Flyers dig it out. Carson in the corner has a man in front, Hackborn, and he couldn't get the shot. And we're going to get a penalty now, a high stick against the Nordiques. And it will give the Flyers a brief power play for 15 seconds. But then when Ashton comes back, they'll be at even strength. 12:08 remaining, second period from Quebec. Flyers 2 and the Nordiques nothing.
Well, Brad Maxwell picks up the minor for the Nordiques at 7:52. High sticking as he knocked Mark Howe down in front of the net as the Flyers were threatening again. And he took out Howe right at the top. So the Flyers will have a very short 15-second power play, as Gene mentioned, till Brent Ashton comes on the ice.
Ron Sutter, Kropp, Howe, and McCrimmon. Howe controls at the left point. Works up the middle. Right side, McCrimmon is there. Lost the shot as he was screened off. Is bedeviled on the near side nicely by the Nordiques. And it shot down the ice. Excellent play by Normand Rochefort as out of the penalty box comes Brent Ashton. So now they'll skate 5 aside for a minute 40. And then Maxwell will come out, and Howe is pulled down at center right, right in front of referee Bob Myers. And you could hear them go ooh here, but nothing was called. And now Ashton on the far side goes down, and they want that one called. So one apiece. Stastny behind the net. Peter's very dangerous. It kicks out to Ashton. Ashton turns to the point. A shot cut off in front on the drive by Rochefort, taken by Howe. And Howe up through at center ice as they're very sharp with their passing. Prop tries to go up the middle. He snouted. Ron Sutter in front. His shot is blocked. And the Nordiques pound it behind the net to Moeller. Moeller has trouble. Forward check nicely by Prop, who takes it away. Offensive left corner. Drops it off for Howe. Thomas Eriksson trying to come up the middle. He's there, but it's Ron Sutter working it out to the near side. Swept off his stick. The Nordiques take it away. Ashton then pivots back in his own zone to Rochefort as the Nordiques will get a man back in 45 seconds as they have right there on a drive from center ice. Their first shot on net in the second period with 9:15 gone. Eriksson on the far side can't get in, and the Nordiques shoot it up ice. They'll get a man back in 30 seconds and have a 15-second power play as Marsh works it up the middle. Taken away by Paymont. He's got a half step on Marsh. He can bullet. He's in tight. Around Stuffer. And he didn't get the angle, and he had Lindbergh just a half step slow coming across. Back comes Zezel on the right side and a feed into the zone. To the center, tries to drop a pass, but there's no one there. And the Nordiques come back down that right side as Paymont had a great opportunity. Now along the far boards, tied up into the slot, Marois. Shot, and a good kick save through the screen set up by Paymont as the Nordiques have a man out, Maxwell, and they are now on a power play, and the 10 seconds remaining on the Crossman minor being served by Philadelphia, as he also has a second half of that minor. Make that Crossman himself will come out right now. So now the Flyers have it at center ice, working on the right side, the Hackborn. He'll be challenged by Rochefort, dumps it in, but Moeller's there to wrap around to his right side. Anton Stastny has a bounce off the stick, but Dale Hunter, as the pace of this game is a good 2 notches above that of Sunday night. 2-0 Philadelphia. The Nordiques having a trouble of a time in their own zone. Finally get it up at center. As Prop falls, it's turned by Rochefort through on the Flyer line. Drops it back. Look out. There's a drive from the left side by Stastny. And Anton has it broken down by Mark Howe. And McCrimmon gets it up to Craven. Through too far on the far wing for Prop, who touches up offside. 9:15 remaining second period from La Colisée, Quebec. Flyers 2 and the Nordiques no score. We'll pause from Quebec for station identification, the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF-TV 29 in Philadelphia.
Jane Hart along with Eddie Van Impe, Bobby Taylor, and the Colisée in Quebec. We're just a little shade past the halfway point of regulation, and the Flyers leading 2-0. Dave Fuller who scored in the first period and then went to the dressing room, was not returned, and Murray Craven in the second. Marois back with Bell. They work up at center ice. Paymont through on the far side to Kumpel. Kumpel seeing his second shift of the game. Flyers to the near side. Kumpel is out with Peter Stastny and Goulet as the Nordiques trying to get something going. A little pressure on. They work to Marsh, and Marsh backhands it to center. Nice move by Derek Smith past Marois. He's got Bergen with him and takes a long shot from the left with Bergen in front, and the Nordiques cover the rebound on the right side as Kumpel looks out on the left wing, hits Goulet in the skate. He picks it up through. 3-on-2 on the offload. Offside to his Kumpel. And we got a trouble over here between Goulet and then Rich Sutter, who's hit by Marois.
Well, actually, it was been between Goulet and Rich Sutter. And then Marois entered the picture, got a stick up right at the blue line, running into Rich Sutter. Both penalty boxes are open, so both players will be assessed penalties.
All right, we have 8:39 remaining, second period from Quebec. Flyers 2, the Nordiques nothing.
.21 is the time of the minor penalties to Rich Sutter of the Flyers and Michel Goulet of the Quebec Nordiques as it happened away from the puck. Sutter trying to prevent Goulet from getting in the offensive zone, and they both got a little upset with their tactics.
Each team has had 4 penalties in this second period. The Flyers have 11, the Nordiques 12 already. It's been a very chippy game. Again, they'll play at 4 skaters apiece. Nordiques a give and go to Maxwell, who slowed down on the stick hooking and checking of Sinisalo. The puck rolls behind the Flyer net as the Flyers playing very well this evening. Howe down that right side gets a screen from Sinisalo. Busts in at the right. In front tried to have Sinisalo. It rolled off the stick, but he picks it up on the left wing side. To the point. There's a foot race. McCrimmon is going to try to beat Paymont to it. They tie one another up. The Flyers come to the near side and get it out of trouble. Paymont out along with Peter Stastny. They roll into Paymont, a drop pass looking for Peter Stastny. Almost takes it away from Zezel, who guards with his skate, kicks it up on the left side. Though he goes down, Howe will come out along with McCrimmon and Sinisalo. Now it's McCrimmon and Sinisalo as over the line they go. Drop man is Zezel, but they instead go to Marsh. He's down that left side off the skate and stick into the left wing corner on a deflected pass. Zezel is held, loses a stick as he was held by Paymont. That allows the Nordiques with a minute remaining on the penalties to each team. And it's picked up by Maxwell at center ice as Peter Stastny goes off. Maxwell, a 60-footer, rebounded to the near side to Brent Ashton into the left wing corner. Looks to center. It comes out in front. And a creep shot by Dale Hunter as Marsh had his back to the play. And Hunter didn't get all of it, but he got enough to roll it in on Lindbergh. Prop over the Nordique line. Down that left side. Looks for support. Gets it in too far for Marsh, who was the trailer. And Rochefort will come back. And there's a tie-up at center ice as Ron Sutter did a nice job of taking off Rochefort. Now the Flyers march to Prop. Prop, a left wing. He's got Ron Sutter in for a drive. And again, Gosselin on the short side high was equal. Good check and left. Hunter's going to go off. That was an obvious penalty as he ran into Rick Sutter, Ron Sutter from behind. He threw his stick up in the air and had...
There's more to come. There'll be more penalties than one. He's got 4 minutes already. He got 2 for boarding. Then with that little act with the stick up in the air, we'll get a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct, which will give the Flyers another power play opportunity. And again, we keep talking about it. You have to start scoring the power play goals, so that can really take away the aggressiveness of the opposition. When Hunter's boarded Brian Prop, then we got called on that play. That's when he got upset and threw the stick up in the air. Dale Hunter in the penalty box picks up a double minor, so the Flyers are going to have another 2 power play opportunities here. Time of the penalty was 13 minutes and 7 seconds of the second period. The Flyers are leading 2-0 on a second period goal by Murray Craven, his first to the playoffs. Power plays are important, but you got to make them work.
15 seconds remaining on the penalties to Philadelphia's Rich Sutter and Quebec's Michel Goulet. So the Flyers have an offensive right circle face-off. And they'll have a 4 skaters to 3 edge for the 15 seconds. When Goulet returns with Rick Sutter, if there are no ensuing penalties, the Flyers then will have a 5 skaters to 4 edge for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. In essence, a double power play opportunity. If they can score on one, they'll get a full second 2 minutes. They'll go with Hackborn, Thomas Eriksson, along with Bergen, and Murray Craven against Marois, Price, and Peter Stastny. Philadelphia's Craven has gone over to talk to Rich Sutter, but I'm sure that's to ask is Michel Bergeron, just to the rear left of the penalty box, along with former Flyer Simon Nollet to his left, making sure now that the Nordiques have this set as they're back by 2, and they've only had 9 shots in the game, only 3 in this period, which is 13 minutes and 7 seconds into history. So Stickle and Finn, the linesman, referee is Bob Myers, and now said, let's go, Hackborn. So it's Hackborn, Craven, Bergen, and Eriksson against Marois, Peter Stastny, and Pat Price, 4 against 3 for 15 seconds. Puck is dropped. Stastny gets it to Marois, throws it off the left boards and down the ice. It rolls right in towards Lindbergh, and he sets it up at the goal line to his left. Stastny in front of the Flyer net, now curls back. Remember, the Nordiques 2 men short, the Flyers 1. Flyers want to get it into the zone. Now it's taken away, and Goulet back at center ice is knocked down on a quick check at center by Eriksson. They try here, but there shouldn't have been anything there. The Flyers now for 3:34, a double power play. They wrap around to the offensive left side. Hackborn is slashed at by Marois. Is pulled down by Marois as Peter Stastny has his pass bumped off into the seat far side. And he comes off a Flyer forechecker, Craven, so it'll come to neutral zone for the face-off.
One thing I've noticed here in the second period is the Flyers forwards, when they're aggressive and they're forechecking, they're getting on the defenseman for the Nordiques in a hurry, and as a result, the Nordiques are making mistakes in their own zone. They're turning the puck over, but it's all just good, hard work, good forechecking. We can make things happen, where Cote was caught with a good stiff body check coming right up the middle of the center ice area.
And the fans do not like that. They yell here, "mais deux," which is somewhat like stupid. And that is directed directly at the referee, Bob Myers.
I'm sure it's a little stronger than stupid. Todd Bergen, Propp and Sinisalo, and Howe and Crossman for Philadelphia. Gillis is on with Brent Ashton, along with 3:26 remaining. On the double minor now, Lindbergh was talked to by Ron Finn, or Leon Stickle, and I think what Lindbergh was doing, saying there's some brie. And behind Stickle, he doesn't see it in the Flyer zone. There's a cup, and Lindbergh sees it. He's banging his stick on the ice, and the cup is noted by Ron Finn, and Stickle will go back to retrieve. All right, he's had the cleanup. Now Stickle again sees something in the ice. We're going to have a little delay.
Looks like there's pennies, and I'll tell you, that is one of the most dangerous things. Anything thrown on the ice.
Pennies and paper clips.
Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you.
All right, Ashton and Gillis with Marois and Price against Propp. Sinisalo, Bergen the centerman, Howe and Crossman. Flyers are on their 4th power play. They're 0 for 3 on the night. Actually, they're on their 5th, as they just had a 15-second one. So they're 0 for 4 on the night, 0 for 8 on the series. Flyers behind the net. Crossman will work up the middle of the ice. Now as he's challenged by Ashton, gets it to Howe. Howe, the puck rolls, flips it down that left wing side into the corner, takes it around behind the net, works to the top of the left circle, fumbled by Sinisalo, but straight away to Crossman, back top of the right circle, Sinisalo. In, Howe at the side of the net, tipped off his skate by Price. Then along the near side, Gillis tries to take it, but Bergen is there and tried to get it back to Sinisalo, but lifted it right over his stick down the ice. Flyers have 46 seconds on the first half of that double penalty to Dale Hunter. Remember, if they can score before that 2 minutes is up, they'll have the second power play to try another goal. Now there's a stop. Crossman is tied up from behind. Gillis is stopped beautifully by Bergen, as the Flyers right now have not even gotten into the Quebec zone to set up for the shot. Crossman works it up through and pass Propp down deep into the Nordique zone. Price looks left and works up on that far side, and Ashton, left unchallenged, will come to center ice at the Philadelphia line and then lifts it in and will peel back as Eriksson is out there now, along with McCrimmon, and Cote comes on with Paymont, Moeller, and Rushmore. Thomas Eriksson up the middle, lifts offensive right corner. There goes Sport off the glass. It kicks out inside McCrimmon off the glass instead of along the boards and comes to center. Now Zezel is through. Tries to go into the left wing corner, dump to Craven. Craven back around to Hackborn. Hackborn has no one in front. Goes to the corner and back to the left point to McCrimmon. Right side to Eriksson. Up the middle, shot wide as he perhaps looked for the tip at the side of the net by Hackborn. Wrap around by the Flyers. Picked up at the hash marks, right circle. Lost by Zezel into the corner. Picked up and sent back to the point to Eriksson, who falls. Just gets up in time. All Paymont would have gone past him on a breeze breakaway. 1:27 on the power play. Now Zezel at the top of the right circle. Looks. And the Flyers right now work behind the net. Give and go, and it slides back through to McCrimmon. Winds up drive, blocked off by the body of Cote, who falls. McCrimmon to the point. Eriksson is shot, knocked down in front. And the Nordiques come 2-on-1 unless McCrimmon can get back quickly. Cote over the line, in on the backhander, and he rolls it off the backside of the net. As Eriksson had enough of him all the way, and now we're going to get a penalty against Thomas Eriksson for holding Alain Cote. And with 1:02 left on that second half of the double-minder to Hunter, that'll wipe out. And in 62 seconds, the Nordiques will have a power play. 3:55 remaining, second period from Quebec. Flyers 2 and the Nordiques nothing.
Well, Tomic Eriksson will pick up a 2-minute minor for the Flyers, so as a result, the Quebec Nordiques will have a power play opportunity in 1:02.
All right, Eriksson's first penalty of the playoffs, the Flyers' 12th penalty of the game of 26 called by Bob Myers. In this period, they've had 5 of the 11. Peter Stastny and Goulet out along with Maxwell and Price against Craven, Bergen, Marsh, and Crosman. There's a steal. Peter Stastny has a man in front. Maxwell looks for the stuffer. And the Flyers broke that up nicely, picked off Maxwell. Stastny was tied up, and the Flyers peeled it down the ice. With 45 seconds on the second half of that double-minder to Dale Hunter, the Nordiques try to outlet the Peter Stastny at center. He's tied up, given away to Marsh. Marsh cut off by Price, and Goulet drops back to Maxwell, who sends it up the middle of the ice for Price with Goulet on his left. Into the zone, he's going to get a boomer. And Lindbergh covered it off the pad and held on for the stoppage of play on the Nordiques' 4th shot of the period, and only their 10th of the game after 36 minutes and 39 seconds of action.
Price made the play in the backhand, hitting Goulet just at the top of the circle, and this is their big gunner as far as goals are concerned for the Nordiques. He gets it up high where Pelle Lindbergh was able to make that save, drop the puck in front of him and cover up that loose puck. So the face-off will be to Lindbergh's right.
Shots in this period are 5-4 Philadelphia, 16-10 for the game. Ashton with J.F. Sauvé, Jean-Francois, Marois and Bruce Bell, the Flyers with McCrimmon and Howe, and Zezel with Sinicello. Offensive left circle face-off for Quebec, directly below us. We're looking straight down on defenseman Bruce Bell. Leon Stickle wants the sticks down. Zezel ties up Sauvé, and it's poked by Howe. Back to McCrimmon. Will curl behind the Philadelphia net. Works out to the left side. Up the middle, and Sinicello will fly with Zezel on his left, 2-on-2. Over the line. Swings wide to Bell, who won't give him the angle. Drove him to the outside and took the play away, and now it is Marois rolling it up near side. Francois Sauvé tries to get out and drops it to Bell. He'll work down that left side against Howe with Ashton into the zone offside, and a nice little touch by Brad McCrimmon to bump him in.
The showcase stores are a great place to purchase sports apparel, souvenirs, or tickets. There are now 8 showcase stores to serve you, including ones at Roosevelt and Exton Square Mall. Be sure to visit one soon.
All right, 5 seconds remaining on the Dale Hunter penalty. The second half of his double-minor. He'll come out, and the Nordiques will have a 58-second power play, the time remaining on Thomas Eriksson's penalty. The Nordiques themselves are 0 for 3 on the evening and suffered the ignominy of a Dave Poulin shorthanded goal. That came in the first period at 11:16 from Craven. Then at 2:18 of this period, Craven from the top of the right circle on a cannon shot from Brad Marsh. Both their first goals of this playoff season, and for Murray Craven, the first of his NHL career. Peter Stastny against Ron Sutter. Flyers win the draw. And Crosman will send it all the way down, and it'll be no icing, because the penalty is over, and the Nordiques on the power play. Prop out with Ron Sutter and Marsh with Crosman. As Maxwell brings it up, he's got Sauvé at the point, along with Goulet, Anton Stastny, and Wolf Paymont. There's a play to the near side, nicely by the Flyers' Crossman to prop, and he backhands it all the way down. Nordiques have 35 seconds remaining on the Thomas Eriksson penalty. 2:25 remaining second period. Lumbering up at center is Maxwell, right-winging it into the zone. A play up to Kunkel, and it's tipped back to the point where Surveillez will wind it around behind the net. Paymont will pick it up along the offensive right boards to the point. Maxwell into the right wing corner to Peter Stastny. They rotate. Surveillez had a shot from the circle, lost the puck, rolls it in along the near side as the Nordiques go into the corner to Paymont. Man in front, Surveillez! Goulet took a shot and fanned on it. Oh, my! There was Goulet, 10 feet alone in front and fanned. Now the puck back to Surveillez. Pass to the near side for Paymont is blocked. On the second try to Paymont. Side of the goal to Goulet in front. It bounces off the body of Lindbergh to the near side where Ron Sutter is dumped. Pop tries to dig it out. Goulet works on it. The Nordiques trying to shovel it. Two Flyers working as well. Surveillez keeps it into Goulet, and we get a stoppage of play. And what do we have? Ron Sutter and Surveillez going to go off?
No, Stastny's down on the ice. He's hurt. He's just laying there.
I think he got a stick up in the... Oh, he's really cut.
And the trainer's running out there, too, in a hurry.
But he just threw his gloves down on his stick in just dismay. And I'm not quite sure where he cut. It appeared to where he's holding the towel is over the left eye or at the left eye. We have 1:38 remaining second period from Quebec. The Flyers 2 and the Nordiques nothing. When Stastny went down, he was in a prone position with his head on the ice, and we weren't quite sure what happened. And when he got up, just the blood in a trail.
What happened, he was away from the play again. The stick got up. He just got clipped with a stick, went down to the ice. No penalties have been called on the play. Stastny just went to the dressing room for repairs.
But it appeared as if it were not an injury serious enough to deter him from coming back. You could sense the attitude was of disgust that he has to have a cut that's going to be stitched up before he can come back. An aggravation injury rather than one that will be debilitating. All right, the penalty box is empty for one of the rare times tonight as we've had in a really chippy game. 26 penalties called, 14 to Quebec, and the Nordiques are 0 for 4 on the advantage. The Flyers 0 for 6, and the only penalty that had any purport to the game when Lindsey Carson was sent off for 7 minutes. During his minor, the Flyers scored the game's first goal shorthanded. Davey Poulin. But after several more shifts, Poulin did not come back on the ice, left to the dressing room, and we've not seen him since. So Philadelphia minus 2 of their very key personnel tonight, Timmy Kerr and Davey Poulin. But Eddie, I think you'll be the first to say, off the experience you had with Cup winners, you've got to be able to play in those situations with attrition, and you have to be able to cover for missing people, no matter who they are.
Well, I can recall in 1974 we had 4 or 5 players out, and we're still able to come up with a big effort. And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight with the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team. Drop was right in there with Stastny. They're kind of bumping and shoving, and all of a sudden the stick got up. In fact, it was the Quebec player's stick that actually, Sutter along the boards got a stick up, and it hit Stastny, and that's where the cut that Stastny received occurred. Minute 38 here in the second period. Flyers are leading 2-0.
Now they have man out with Cote and Hunter against Carson, Rich Sutter, and Ron Sutter. And right now, Leon Stickle's telling Ron or Hunter just where he wants them, and he'll take no nonsense. And look out for a little trouble between Ron Sutter and Dale Hunter. And immediately the other linesman comes over, Ron Finn, and Bob Myers says, look, get him out of there. We understand we've been experiencing back in Philadelphia some video and audio breakup, and we apologize for that problem, and we're attempting to work it out at our earliest possible convenience. And right now, Bob Myers said, look, cut out the nonsense. And I think Leon Stickle is going to have Cote come in now with Lindsey Carson. But now Hunter comes to the near side against Rich Sutter. So we have a lot of volatile situations in this game. The puck at center ice. Ron Sutter tries to poke it away, but it comes to Hunter.
Gene Mann tried to spear Sutter right off the face-off.
There he goes and lifts it in on Lindbergh. McCrimmon around to the near side, out to Rich Sutter. Rich Sutter's garroted there by... Well, Mann knocks down Ron Sutter as McCrimmon wraps it up on the far side, and it trickles through past Marois, or make that Moeller, as there goes Rich Sutter behind the net. Looks to center, kicks it out to the near side to Ron Sutter. Then on the near boards, Cote bucks Rich Sutter, and we get a stoppage of play. And If somebody on the other side cuts loose, we're going to have a war with 1:07 remaining in the second period.
I couldn't agree more. Something's going to happen here. Now all the players are jamming and pushing and shoving along here. Tempers are up. And I'm sure Quebec's upset over Stastny being cut, but that's part of the game. You still got to play. This is a playoff game. And the Nordiques right now are losing their cool in their own building. The Flyers are ahead 2-0, 1:07 remaining. And they're doing a lot of pushing and shoving and talking, but not much else, as the Flyers have held the Nordiques to only 12 shots and are ahead of the scoreboard as well, 2-0.
Ron Sutter's going to go off and Dale Hunter, and Ron Sutter said, "What did I do?" But I think Bob Myers is trying to cool a very difficult situation.
Hunter just really took in Rich Sutter into the boards.
With the elbow.
Where it started, he got the elbow up, the stick up, and then Carson came in and took a hold of Hunter. And then along the boards is where Ronnie Sutter and Hunter got back into it again and started in the corner with a good stiff body check. And then, boy, oh boy, Carson comes in to the aid of his teammate right after the play, and that's exactly what you have to do. You have to play as a team, play together, even with the tough situations.
All right, Hunter now goes off for the third time in the game. He has 77 minutes on the playoff year. Ron Sutter picks up the second penalty. He has 20 minutes on the playoffs. And the Flyers now have 13 of the game's 28 penalties.
Talked about the aggressive play as far as the Nordiques and the Flyers. Well, boy, oh boy, Ronnie Sutter went right after Mann just inside the blue line. Got the stick up a little bit. Mann, much the bigger of the two players, was able to knock Sutter down. That happened just inside the Flyers' blue line.
This is the 8th set of penalties involving a player from each team of the 28 that have been called. That's all more than half. Gillis out along with Ashton, Rochefort on with Marois. Flyers go Zezel, Sinisalo with Crossman and Marsh. Minute left in the period, playing five-a-side. Ashton flying up the middle into the zone, and he shot a good one, and Lindbergh got a piece of that and deflected it up into the end seats. Ashton, of course, to Vancouver, on to Colorado, to Minnesota, and then picked up in a trade along with Brad Maxwell that sent from the Nordiques Tony McKegney and Bo Berglund to Minnesota.
Well, the Flyers defensemen were backing in a little bit there, and Ashton took that shot. It went up high. Pelle Lindbergh maybe has had not the same amount of work he had the other night, but when he's needed to make the big save, he's been there, and that's exactly what he did on Ashton, who lowered that big shot from just inside the blue line, and Pelle reacted quickly, deflecting the puck up into the stands.
Sauvé and Goulet. Oh, it goes back to Rochefort, left circle, Whistler! And again, high off the shoulder of Lindbergh, as the Nordiques have been getting shots in now in the waning part of this period on Lindbergh. Flyers wrap it around to their left side, and Howe should be able to get it up through at center ice. Checked and taken off by Goulet, and then Sauvé took it away from Sinisalo, falls over Sinisalo's stick, looks at Myers, but that was begging, and Philadelphia in control as they rip it up on the near side to center ice. Sinisalo, bad pass, intending for Sauvé, and now Zezel steals. Works to the left side, Sinisalo with a drive, score!
Well, that was the big one. That was the one the Flyers needed here, and Sinisalo provided it for him. Just an excellent pass from Peter Zezel back to Sinisalo, who just really tees it up and beats the goaltender, Gosselin, for Sinisalo. That's his 4th goal of the playoffs, and it's a big one for the Flyers. It gives them a 3-0 lead. The defenseman Marois was down on his back as Zezel made an excellent play, dropping the puck back to Sinisalo, who really one-times it and blows it right by goaltender Mario Gosselin.
Low to his left side, from the inner arc of the left circle to the lower right side of the cage. Comes at 19:39, and the Flyers open up a 3-goal lead. And it comes with the team skating 4 aside with Ron Sutter and Dale Hunter still having 1:14 remaining on their minors. And that will carry over 53 seconds into the third period. Now Brad Maxwell is in conversation with Bob Meyer, and Bob Meyer made short trip to that, said, okay, boom, let's go. And now Brad Maxwell made a couple of little grimacing remarks, probably, what do you mean, that's all I get? And Ron Finn went over to cool him down, said that's all you get is Michel Bergeron. There's a fiery coach, but a gentleman. And
see, that's a big goal of the Flyers, because holy man, gives them a 3-0 lead here. It's late in the period. Sometimes just hook them enough to let them go, and all of a sudden So they just got up and took the two-hander, was going to, and the referee, Bob Myers, was standing right there looking at him.
Craven, Carson, Crossman, and Marsh for Philadelphia. And it is Gillis on with Ashton, Maxwell, and Pat Price. Flyers now don't want any problem here in the waning stages of this period. 14 seconds left. And it is Ron Finn who whistles the hand pass that came from Marsh to Craven at center ice with 13 seconds remaining in this second period, and the Flyers have opened up a 3-goal lead on the road.
This is more of the Flyers gene we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Playing much better here in Game 2 than they did in Game 1.
Well, they're dictating pace tonight.
Yep.
Craven against Gillis. It kicks to the near side, and Crossman just fires it down the right boards behind the net. Nordiques pick it up with 5 seconds left. There's a bump. It comes out, and the play will come to an end as it rolls to the Flyer line. End of the second period. Craven is first of the year in the playoffs from Marsh at 218. Sinisalo is fourth from Zezel at 1939. The second period saw the Flyers pick up 6 penalties, the Nordiques 7. Quebec has 15 of the game's 28. The shots in the second period, the Flyers had 6, a game total of 17. The Nordiques 8, a game total of 14. The end of...
We've just received a report that Peter Stastny picked up 12 stitches on that cut he suffered near the end of that period.
But he's out there now with 53 seconds remaining on the penalties to Philadelphia's Ron Sutter and Quebec's Dale Hunter with Goulet and Stastny out. Flyers on the near side working deep back. Oh, there's a play off the side of the net. Little careless play, and the Flyers are able to then shovel it through too far on the left wing at center ice for Zezel, who's out, along with Sinisalo. They set up the Flyers' third goal in the last half minute of play in the second period. It was a major goal. 3 is a long way to come back, but the Nordiques have firepower. On the near play, stolen away by Sinisalo. He's got a stride in on the net. Drive! And Gosselin with a fine glove save from a drive between the circles.
Well, that's what a great set of wheels can do for you. You have a little bit of daylight. You can break right up the seam. Sinisalo on the forehand. The Nordiques back check. He was able to get that shot up into the glove hand that was there waiting for it by Mario Gosselin. But a good set of wheels by Sinisalo made that whole play happen. The hole opened up, and he just stormed up the seam.
20 seconds remaining on the penalties to each team. Flyers still with Sinisalo and Zezel. McCrimmon and Howe, the Nordiques, with Goulet and Peter Stastny, Pat Price, and Randy Moeller. With an offensive left circle face-off for Philadelphia. Erickson, Hackford, and Rich Sutter have dressed for Philadelphia tonight. And the Flyers without Kerr, and now without Davey Pullen. We'll have an explanation as to his hurts after the game. There's a lost play in front of the Quebec net by Moeller, but Philadelphia not quick enough to jump on it. As the Nordiques get it up to Goulet at center ice against McCrimmon, trying to find an opening. Throw down that left wing side to chase the puck. Tied up, looks to shovel it out to Peter Stastny. They wheel at the top of the left circle. Man in front is Goulet, and the pass is blocked. Out comes Hunter up the middle. Loses the pass into the slot to the right boards. Tries to shovel it in the middle. The Flyers lose it behind the net. Goulet wheels it up on the near side. Stastny picks it up, goes back in, man in front, all alone, Hunter! And he couldn't handle the pass as Lindsey Carson finally gets it up through to Ron Sutter. But, oh my, there was a man there as Carson now overskates the pass at the Nordique line. Hunter, all alone at the side of the net, couldn't get a piece of that cross-ice pass. Puck at the Flyer line, sent through to Carson by Marsh, flipped into the offensive right corner. Deep rebound to the Nordique left circle, taken by Price, wound around for Wolf Paymont. Can't handle it. It skips the center. The Flyers play it through past Ron Sutter, but it bangs off his body as it was sent out by Randy Moeller. The Nordiques finally get it into the neutral zone. Overskated by Hackborn. Gillis through. Worked on by Hackborn. Fights into the zone. To the near side. Brent Ashton tries to make a play. Flyers dig it out and clear it in the center. But the Nordiques obviously have to come out storming. They cannot wait too long when they're 3 back. Ashton penetrates now. He's got Gillis with him. In front, a high pass. Ricochets back. Pressure put on by Craven. Maxwell dumps it into the right corner. Paymont in front, and it's shoveled away by Lindbergh, and then a wild shot from the left boards by Gillis. Broken down. Crossman in the corner double team. Nordiques putting on great pressure, and the Flyers answering beautifully. And then Marsh to take off the heat. Drives it down the ice. There'll be no icing as Craven is there first. Pivots away to the near side. Has Prop with him. but a nice play by Rochefort to take him off. The Nordiques up to Sauvé, coming with Kumpel on his far left. Over the line pass, but easily picked off by Philadelphia's McCrimmon and shoots to center ice. We've played 2.5 minutes into the third period, 3-0 Philadelphia. We'll be back on Thursday night, Game 3 at 7:30. Now Todd Bergen at the line. A drive. Kick save by Gosselin. Swept away by Cote. To Sauvé will come with Maxwell and Kumpel at center ice. Deep pass into the Philadelphia zone, and Lindbergh is out. Taps it away. Flyers get it, but lose it as Cote does a good job of forechecking to the right point. Played back to Marois by Sauvé. Dumped at the Flyers. Played in front by Lindbergh. Sauvé in front. Shot. Save by Lindbergh. And the Flyers again wheel it up on the near side. They've got Rich Sutter along with Derek Smith over the line. And Derek, a nice move inside. And then Rich Sutter fell in the path of Derek Smith, moved to the net and lost the shot. Now Bergen at an angle in front. Rich Sutter is punched out as the puck goes to the point and into center ice. Crosman dumps it back in to Rich Sutter. He'll be challenged by Kumpel. They collide offensive right corner, and Pat Price digs it out and sends it up into the safes off the glass left side. We have played 3:30 into a scoreless third period from Quebec. Flyers leading 3-0. Kel Hunter has to dig out the pass, send it through into the Philadelphia zone. Gathered at his right circle by Crosman and up the middle at center ice. Too hot to handle. And Moeller for the Nordiques to Hunter. Avoids the check of Zezel, now flying as Rochefort over the line. He's got a shot. And it's blocked to the far corner by Crosman. Rochefort behind the net. Zezel in there with Goulet. Peter is bumped, ties it up in his own corner at the goal line to the right of Lindbergh. 3 Flyers in there. Crosman along with Zezel and Patterson. It comes in front. Marsh is stationed there. Has no outlet on the near side. Now has no choice but to try to come out. The Nordiques triple team him. It comes to the near side and slides up 2-on-1. Sinisalo over the line. Patterson for the net. There he is. Drive! And it went over the top, and then a beautiful drop shot pass by Sinisalo to Joe Patterson, who was right in on top. Nordiques, Moeller up the middle, taken there, and here comes Peter Stastny against Crossman. He's got a trailer, Goulet, into the zone. There's Goulet breaking for the net. Stastny looks back to the point. Red by Philadelphia, and we're going to get a penalty, and it looks like Brad Marsh is going to go off, and who? Hunter?
I think it's Patterson and Hunter.
Patterson and Hunter.
I think it's just Joe Patterson. Exactly what it is.
You've got it right.
You can bet that there are going to be an awful lot of opportunities for the power play by Myers.
For that power play coming up, early third period, they trail 3-0. Nordiques on the power play for the 5th time. They're in sorely need of a goal. Marsh rubs out Ashton in the corner. The Flyers try to wheel it out. It goes to Sauvé. He's got a shot from the left circle, and he can cannon. Good kick save. Knocked down at the side of the net.
That's a hand pass. That's a hand pass. You got it right. That's a hand pass. They passed the puck with their hand from behind the net. And thanks to the guy who took the shot. That's a hand pass, and Bob Myers is not even calling it. There's a chance to look at the replay. The puck is up in the air. It's in behind it. It's right there. A hand pass. He catched it right there, and he won't call it. I can't believe it. I cannot believe he won't call that hand pass. Unbelievable.
I thought Ron Finn was going behind the net to advise him of that, but he didn't.
Get a chance to look at it again. It's as clear as can be. The puck was batted out from behind the net with a hand, and then the other Nordique eventually put it into the net. Sauvé.
The pass was knocked, or the puck was knocked down by the hand to Lemieux, Alain Lemieux, who took the shot. The rebound came right out, and Sauvé put the shot in on a power play goal, but it should not be allowed. So Sauvé picks up goal number 4 to put the Nordiques on the scoreboard. Wilf Paymont was the player who knocked it down with his hand, passed it to Alain Lemieux, so they'll pick up the assist. Paymont and Lemieux for Sauvé's 4th goal, power play goal. It comes at 4:51.
Heard you that vociferous since the offside goal at the Island in 1980. But in both cases, you were right on. Let's see what that does to the Nordiques. They're on the board. Near side pass. That's a power play goal for Quebec. Now Brad Maxwell over the line. He gets past Lindsey Carson, rolls it in, top of the left circle. Ashton in front. Hip flash by Paymont and almost got it home. Flyers have to be careful in both the Islander and the Ranger games. They allowed 3-goal leads to slip down to 2, and then won and had a battle for their lives. Ashton in the corner. Works to the left side to Price. Outlets through to Paymont at center ice. Up the middle goes Ashton. Paimon at the line against Howe. There's Ashton with a backhander shoveled wide. And there's Rick Tocchet on the foreboard. Overskates the puck. Lindsey Carson then shovels it into center ice. But 4 Flyers on that left side. Ashton over the line to Lemieux. Pass trying to find Paimon, and the Flyers tip it off. And out comes Ron Sutter down that left side, trying to get inside Rochefort. He's cut off, but follows the puck in the corner. Now tries to tie it up. Is knocked down. And there is Cinisello taking it away from Stastny as the Flyers had a man in front, Craven. And here comes Goulet back up the middle. At the Flyer line, the Stastny angle shot. High and wide to the short side. And Philadelphia trying to gather forces and just stay calm and get it to Zezel over the line. Shot off the top of the glove of goaltender Gosselin to the far side. Crossman tries to flip it in deep, but it goes past Zezel behind the net to Marois. His pass up on the near side to Stastny, slides to center ice. Marsh is challenged, bounces it to the Nordique line. It's gotten back to Craven. Will come in on the near side by himself. Hooked by Peter Stastny, who takes the puck away and scoots behind the Nordique net and works out to the left side. He's got the fans in the game for the first time. Flyers have to settle down and keep them from getting alive. Now Goulet at the line. Shot way up into the end seats from just inside the blue line. 6:38 gone. Third period from Quebec, 3-1 Philadelphia. Prime Minister Brian Mulroney playing his first National Hockey League game as the leading elected official or appointed official of the the country of Canada, and the highest ranking elected official ever to see the Philadelphia Flyers play as well. 3-1. Nordique just scoring on the power play of Coteon with Kumpel right centered by Sauvé, the goal scorer, and what apparently was obviously a hand pass from behind the net by Lemieux, but that's now history. It's in the book. Price and Moeller, the defenseman, and the Flyers go Hackborn, Prop, and Rich Sutter with McCrimmon and Howe. Puck taken by Philadelphia to Rich Sutter. McCrimmon off the near side and gets it into center ice. Moeller there, backtracking with Price. Shovels it through far side. Cote is cut off, but Sauvé forwards it down. Will chase Howe. Wrap around to the near side. Blocked off. Taken by Howe and lifted into center ice. Flyers now are trying to stop the Nordique's momentum. They work into the left wing corner. Sauvé has Kumpel in front. His pass tied up, gets it in front. And then it's shoveled out by Philadelphia to Rich Sutter and through to Prop at center ice. Overskates the puck, but Hackborn doesn't. Tries to cut inside his man and then peels off the puck. And not allowed the Cote to dig it out. He's worked on by Prop to Price on the far side and the center ice off Kumpel's skate. But the Nordique's coming in waves now is over the line. The pass is blocked off from Sauvé. Taken back in by Kumpel, and they say it's onside. To Sauvé, back to Kumpel, tries to roll it in front. Kicks to the near corner, and the Nordiques are putting on the pressure, and Howe says enough of that and dumps it out of the rink. Quebec with an offensive right circle face-off as we pause for station identification. The Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF-TV 29 in Philadelphia.
Well, the Nordiques right now in the third period are coming after the Flyers with everything they have in their arsenal, but the Flyers are bending but not breaking. 12 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the third period. Plenty of time and a lot of hockey.
Well, they started the wave here, and even the Prime Minister, Brian Mulroney, has gotten involved in the act. 12:25 remains, 3-1 Philadelphia in the league here in the third period.
Right, the Nordiques will go with Alain Lemieux at center ice, Paimon right, Ashton left with Bell and Maxwell. The Flyers go Ron Sutter with Carson and Tocchet defensively, Marsh and Crossman, and we have the puck flipped out of the rink at center ice. 12:19 remaining third period, 3-1 Philadelphia.
Well, I think we're going to see some short shifts here.
Wow, Quebec is starting to use more of their bench now. Alain Lemieux, who got an assist on that goal, has not been used at all in the first game, and he's only been used in a couple of shifts here. He's out there now on about his second shift. I think both teams will be using a lot of their bench as well as getting the short shifts.
Ron Sutter on the draw from Ashton, flips in Gosselin, kicks to his right, Flyers in there, Tocchet behind the net, cut off by Brad Maxwell, and Bell is checked off by Ron Sutter. Tries to screen the puck off for Carson. winds it in. Bell was able to clear it out to the point, and the Flyers wrap it around past their three, checking forward to the right wing side, where Maxwell of the Nordiques come to center. Left wing a pass, beauty to Ashton. Into the corner, pivots, looks for the trailer, bumped off. Flyers don't get it out the first time, but Crosman does on the second. Got Carson going one-on-one with Maxwell. At an angle, and the puck catches on the shot from the right circle. The stick of Brian Maxwell, or the skating goes out of the ring.
That's something you'd like to see a little bit more of. The Flyers being a little bit more aggressive. They're ahead 3-1 here in the third period, but you don't want to play that remaining time in your own zone. So it's nice to see him get that play up ice and a shot by Carson.
You know, the Flyers of the St. Quebec Nordiques will play the third game of this Wales Conference Finals at the Spectrum this Thursday, May the 9th. Now, all the Flyer fans should be sure to use ticket number 6 for this game. That's ticket number 6 for this Thursday's game, May the 9th.
Nesel, Patterson, and Sinisalo. Patterson in front. He shoveled it off the side of the net at a bad angle. Tied up behind by Marwad, digs the puck out. Looks to clear it. Stopped by Sinisalo. Pumps it back to Patterson behind the net. Collides with Rochefort, but Sinisalo digs it out. Back to Patterson. They're playing in this near corner, but they can't set up the shot. Now Marwad does a good job ripping out Patterson. Zezel into the offensive corner behind the net. Tries to center, and he hits Sinisalo there. The Nordiques wind it around to the near side. Howe will go in against Hunter. Hunter is bumped. Howe digs it out. Shot just off the glove, long side of Marwad to the far side, where Goulet takes it. Tries to come out with it. Chased by three Flyers, and stick handles up the middle of the ice by himself. Now joined by Hunter on the near side. Tries to go through. Rolls it in toward the net. Missed by both Zezel and Goulet, and there was a heartthrob both ways. The Flyers give it away to the point. Shot by Hunter high up into the end seats from just inside the blue line as he tried to hit a bouncing puck. We have 10:57 remaining in regulation from Quebec, 3-1 Philadelphia. Back there, Le Colisée in Quebec, Gene Hart, Bobby Taylor, Eddie Van Impe, 3-1 Philadelphia. Flyers trying to even the series to take it back to Philadelphia. Moeller from center ice, just under Lindbergh's glove on the long side. Crosman behind the net plays it nicely away from Sauvé, who's been a force for Quebec in this period. Crosman up on the near side. Nice check there on Derek Smith by Moeller, and here comes Peter Stastny over the line. Left side to Anton. He's there. Shot wide into the near corner where Sauvé tries to go to the point. He's checked. Checked by Mars. Checked on the near side by Philadelphia. There's a play in front, and they tried to find Anton Stastny. Dug out by Crosman, sent all the way down. And we'll have icing taking off as Rich Sutter was there before Moeller. So Price along the far side gives it away to Hackborn at center. Dumps it in, and offside was Derek Smith trying valiantly to come out in time, but could not. 10:15 remaining third period. 3-1 here Philadelphia, and at Edmonton, the Oilers and the Blackhawks tied at 1 in the first period.
Well, the Nordiques got an opportunity from the point, but Lindbergh just calmly put the glove on it. It appeared that it was going to miss the net anyway, but the Flyers have been shutting down the Nordiques. They have not been able to get anything going on their goaltender, Feli Lindbergh, and they've been able to make that play up there very easily coming through the middle.
Here they come, Paymont charging at the line. Shot, Lindbergh, deep kick, but right back to Gillis. In front, a dump pass is blocked off. Flyers look out, Ashton. Had a chance to stop, and it goes back to the point. Nice play into the corner by Rochefort. McCrimmon takes it as double team. The Nordiques putting on good heat, and the Flyers replying with good defense, taking it out on Craven, who had that key goal in the second period to make it 2-0 to Howe. Over the line, flips into the offensive left corner. It gets double checked. Now it's in front. Oh, and there is Rochefort down on his body as he gets it up through to Maxwell at center ice, trying to find a way through. McCrimmon cannot. Loose to the near side, and Howe is checked as the puck rolled on him by Paymont, but through the near side and past Prop at center ice. 9.5 minutes left, third period. 3-1 Philadelphia. Maxwell a pass through on the left wing. Into the middle, Bell tries to penetrate. The Nordiques lose it. The Flyers come to center ice, and a pass up trying to find Ron Sutter is out with Pocket and Carson, and the Nordiques come on the left side. Cote over the line with Goulet and Hunter. Pass blocked off by Philadelphia and sent through into the neutral zone on the far side. Bell, though, to Hunter, and his loose pass taken by Marsh at center ice. Pivots back to his own zone off the near boards for Crosman. Crosman at center ice, knocked down by Lindsey Carson and taken by Ron Sutter, what appeared to be a hand pass. He knocked it down, and Sutter picked it up, but again, history. Flyers on the near side. Good forechecking by Tocchet in front, and Gosselin got it out of Charm's way as the Flyers dig it out, left wing corner. Try to find a man in front. It's blocked off. Tocchet now cuts away from Hunter. They battle offensive left corner. Hunter ties up Tocchet. In comes Marwad to break it free to Cote. And out to Bellow. Storm at center. The Flyers have Crosman back with Marsh Over the line, Marois to the left side. Looks to play it in on the net. Just tipped wide. Goulet in front, and the Flyers had a beautiful conception there. As up ice comes Ron Sutter at the line against Marois. In front, an angle shot. And the goaltender Gosselin ate that one up. Puck cleared in front. Patterson in front. Looks to shoot. Scores! Big goal by Joe Patterson.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's happy too, isn't he? Holy man.
He had an excellent opportunity early in the period when he and Ron Sutter had a 2-on-1, but he just come off the bench, intercepted that clearing pass, and put a backhand shot up over Mario Gosselin, who was back in his net, and the Flyers regained their 3-goal lead. But a big play, a part of Joe Patterson, and a heads-up play, watching that puck, making sure that it was just inside the blue line and knocking it down. Again, the backhand shot, Mario Gosselin in and deep in his net, and Patterson puts the Flyers up 4-1. Patterson's first of the playoffs, unassisted goal.
On that play, Bobby, to use your expression, all you can do is try to make yourself big, right? Cover as much as you can, because you never know where that shot's going. Oh, what a big goal. But with the Nordiques coming, they get a break and draw within one, then it's shoot-em-up time, but now the Flyers again have that 3-goal lead. Howe up the far boards, picked up and sent into the zone, and sent right out by Moeller. Up at center is Stastny's cut off by McCrimmon. To Sinicello, who lifts it into the Nordique zone. First man in is Patterson. Takes it behind the net, is bumped by Moeller. Then Pat Price digs it out, rolls it to Anton Stastny. He tries to come out, and the Flyers pick it off. Send it back to the Flyer line to Howe, to McCrimmon. His pass knocked down at center ice, but covered by Sinicello. Roll up on the right side and lift it in. And that, as we said, took the crowd out of the game. 4-1 Philadelphia with 7:30 remaining in the third period. Price behind his net. Checked and has to go back the other way, and now Moeller, unchallenged, will come up on the left side, puts it through to Anton Stastny at center. A nice drag through the check, and the near side to Peter Stastny into the right wing corner. Holes tries to get it back to the point, and there's a play in front. Shot! What a save! Another save! And the Flyers shovel it up to the near side. What a master Peter Stastny is. Flyers through, prop over the line, crisscross to Derek Smith. He overskates. So does Anton Stastny. So does Hackborn, and Anton is away on the right side. Stastny trailed by Gillis. Pass broken up beautifully by the back-checking of Brian Propp, and Marsh sends it to center ice. 6:50 remaining in the third period. 4-1 Philadelphia. Aaron pass to the near side. Hackborn at the Quebec line rolls it in off Derek Smith, and Rochefort shovels it to his own left side, where it's dug out by Paul Gillis. 6:40 remaining in the third period. 4-1 Philadelphia. Now on the left side, Brent Ashton up the middle. Paymon has it taken away by Marsh. It's off his stick into the Philadelphia zone. We're going to have a penalty, it looks like, against Philadelphia. And it's going to be a... All right, let's forget it. 6:26 remaining, third period. Quebec power play coming up, 4-1 Philadelphia.
Brad Marsh picks up a holding call. 13:34 the time of the minor. Quebec on their 6th power play opportunity.
March 21 minutes on the playoff season. The penalties in the game are now even at 15. Nordiques 1 for 5 on the advantage. They are 1 for 7 on this round. And in the playoffs, they are 14 for 66. Remember, they've played a series more games. Philadelphia only needed 8 through 2 rounds, and the Nordiques 12. So the Nordiques have played 4 more games, and obviously the greater number of attempts. Right. Hunter gets it back to Sauvé, the goal scorer on the power play at the point. In along the left side to Goulet. Flyers have McCrimmon, Howe, Ron Sutter, and Craven. There they go. Goulet loses it in the offensive left corner, digs it out, has a man in front. Couldn't get it to Hunter. Flyers shovel it up to the far side. Ron Sutter fails once to get it out and then gets it through on the right wing. 2-on-1 Philadelphia. Howe breaking for the net. There he is. Shot to Craven. Oh, he missed the open net. In front again. And
there's a penalty. It should be a penalty right now. Mario Marois deliberately knocked the goal off the magnet. Bob Myers standing right there. I didn't call it. Flyers had a great opportunity on it as the shot or the pass to Howe was a little bit too high, and he tried to control it, got it back to Craven, who shot it back into goaltender Gosselin. But now Marois, just right after that, just knocked the net right off its magnet, which is a delay of the game call. There's Craven trying to do it. Now here comes Marois in and just after that knocked the goal off. Nobody near him, no one around at all. He wasn't knocked into it or anything. There it is right there. There's the knockoff. Should be a 2-minute minor for delay of the game.
Well, the referee was at least 4 feet away, Bobby, and it might be foggy down there.
Well, see, the difference is if somebody had been near him that might have knocked him into it, you could say there's a reasonable doubt, but not on that play.
Zezel, Sinisalo, and Crossman with Howe. Nordiques with 5:50 left, trail by 3. Get it up to Hunter on the left wing at center ice. He's got a step on Zezel, penetrates, drops it back to the point, kept in by Stastny, gives it away in the corner, and there is Paymont with Peter Stastny behind the net. A dump pass by Hunter is blocked by Crossman, but back to Hunter along the far side to Peter Stastny behind. Paymont to Peter out of the left wing corner. He'll go back to the point now, and it'll be picked up by Zezel. Zezel now guarding Peter Stastny. They go far side. Paymont tries to go into the corner to Hunter. Hunter has Goulet at the side of the net to the near side. Fans on it. Flyers ought to be able to get it out, and do on that near corner dump by Sinisalo. He and Zezel go off, and Ron Sutter will come on with Prop, Howe, and Crossman. Nordiques 45 seconds on the advantage. There are 5:10 remaining in the third period. Now, Peter Stastny penetrates, but no control of the puck. And Prop, a wraparound, kept in at the left point by Paymont, but the Flyers dig it out, and almost had a 2-on-1 with Ron Sutter and Prop, but it slid through them. Gosselin out to his left in the Nordique cage to play it up to Maxwell on the near side. His pass blocked at center, taken away by the Flyers, lost on a bounce to Maxwell, as Ron Sutter is out there now, along with Carson, Howe, and Crossman. Maxwell at the line. There's a collision. Puck not in. Now we have the offside. 4:38 remaining in the third period. 13 seconds on the Marsh penalty. And the Nordiques in this crucial situation have only had 1 shot on net. They've only had 22 for the game.
Flyers have really controlled the play. There was a little bit of a flurry by the Nordiques after they scored that goal on the power play by J.F. Sauvé, and they didn't really get any good scoring opportunities from it, but they had the play inside the Flyers zone, and of course the crowd getting a little excited as well. But the Flyers have methodically shut them down here in the last 10 minutes of this period.
Very simply, if the Flyers win this, they negate the first 2 games at Quebec and literally make it a 5-game series with the Flyers the home ice edge. Price at center, a wraparound behind Lindbergh. Flyers on the near side take a poke at it once, take a poke at it twice. To the blue line, Marois shot in on the net, rolls to the far corner. There's Anton Stastny trying to make a play, but Ashton can't handle it. The penalty is over, and the Flyers bang it off Bob Myers all the way down. Make that Ron Sutter tries to make the play on Gosselin, kicks loose. There is Alain Lemieux, pass to the side of the net, up to the near side, and out comes Mario Marois to center ice, a pass off the stick of Anton Stastny in on Lindbergh. He'll sit on it, as sweeping in there was Brent Ashton. With 4:01 remaining in the third period, Flyers 4 and the Nordiques 1 as Bob Froese looks on, chomping gum furiously. We have 4:01 remaining in the third period, 4-1 Philadelphia. The Nordiques have an offensive left circle face-off. Gillis, Cote, and Kumpel, along with Rochefort and Moeller. The Flyers go Hackborn with Rich Sutter, Lindsey Carson, Marsh, and Crossman. The puck to the near side, foot race to it. Rich Sutter tries to sweep it out, fails, but the dump by the Nordiques comes to Carson, who does get it to center ice. Less than 4 minutes remaining in regulation. 4-1 Philadelphia. Gillis turns down that left side, flips in. After it is Marsh along with Cote. Marsh swings away to the near side, tries to clear it, does. Pass Rochefort off the glass, down the far wing, and it rolls right to the Nordique goal line. Hackborn on the near side as the Flyers made 3 changes. Hackborn along with Erickson and Rich Sutter, and they've played well. Kumpel up the middle on the right side now to Paul Gillis. The puck goes in. Gillis doesn't. Kumpel is turned around on the goal line behind the Philadelphia net. Cote digs it out. There's a shot by Gillis off the outside of the net on the deflection. Flyers wheel it to the near side, look to lift it out, and it's blocked off. Shot high off Lindbergh. It blocks and drops off to his side, and then the Flyers shovel it to center ice. The Nordiques have evened the shots up at 24, but with just 3 minutes remaining, Flyers 180 ticks away from taking the home ice edge back. At center, Moeller flips in. Deathly quiet here. Howe around to the far side, wheels it up in his own left wing, and the Flyers dump it to center ice. And we got a fight in the corner. Who is it? Hunter again, and Hunter is hit by McCrimmon as Zezel was in. And we're going to have some more penalties, Eddie.
You've got Hunter just stirring the pot out here. The time clock's winding down, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And again, it was in behind the play.
All right, we have more penalties coming up with 2:45 remaining in the third period. Flyers 4 and the Nordiques 1. All right, Hunter and Zezel are going to get 2 each for roughing.
It started back in the corner when Howe went back to pick up that loose puck, and Hunter got his stick way up in the air, knocking Howe down to the ice, and all of a sudden Zezel come into the picture to even things up, and they both picked up minors.
Zezel 18 minutes on the year. Hunter now with 4 penalties tonight has 79. 32 penalties in the game, evenly divided. They'll play 5 aside as Crosman in the corner takes it away from Goulet. Marvelous effort tonight for Philadelphia. They've come back with championship quality, and they're on their way to doing what they had to do, win 1 in Quebec. Gosselin out. Outlets to Goulet at center ice, picked up by Crosman, who sweeps it off the stick back into the Flyer defensive right corner. Ties up Goulet. Ronstadt over skates. Then it kicks off, and the Nordiques try to make a play. Peter Stastny cannot. Beautiful effort by Ronstadt to come out, keep it away from Stastny, and then the Flyers do shovel it to center ice. Prop wants to come to the red line and dump it in. Breaks free of a check as Stastny looks a little winded. Drives one off Gosselin from the neutral zone. Less than 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Flyers 4 and the Nordiques 1 in a dandy. Pat Price up on the right wing at center ice. Ashton threw into the zone. No play made for Stastny. But now some ill-mannered fans, and there are very few, let me assure you here, throw some debris on the ice, but it has been a very receptive crowd for Quebec, who remember the Flyers Farm Club here, the Quebec Aces, and their training camp here several years, and there's an affection between the two organizations, but competitors here now on ice. Ashton up with 1:25 remaining, over the line, in, and a weak shot to the near side of Lindbergh. There's a play in front, backhand shot, and a good save by Lindbergh on the defenseman Rushmore. And with 1:15 left, Eddie, it's looking good.
Soon will be 9. Yes, on Saturday, May 11th, Showcase Store number 9 will open the Granite Run Mall on Route 1 in Media. Former Flyers Rick McLeish and Joe Watson will participate in the grand opening ceremonies at 1 p.m. And the Flyers physical conditioning coach, Pat Croce, will be on hand to autograph copies of his new fitness card game, Physical. That's this Saturday at 1 p.m. for the grand opening of the newest Showcase Store in the Granite Run Mall in Media.
Nordiques will have an offensive right circle face-off. They're playing 4 skaters each, with the penalties to Zezel and to Hunter of the Nordiques, each with 31 seconds remaining. They'll come back with 44 seconds remaining on the time clock for the period. Now Gosselin looked to his bench to say, can I come out or should I? Shoot the works, even though we're 3 back with the extra forward. And
Gene, I don't think you'll be going.
No, Bergeron just ignored the appealing eye search. There's a drop. Hackthorne wins it away from Gillis. Marsh behind the net. A nice move away from the checking of Cote. Up through at center ice to Hackthorne. Coming on the near side with Carson. Dumps the puck in, and the Nordiques are able to take it away and clear out. Minute remaining, my friends, in regulation. There's a drive over the top of the net, and offside are the Nordiques. Coming up, we tell you that our producer is Mike Finnekier, our director tonight, Bob Ayers, studio producer in Philadelphia, Jamie McVicker, our ADs here, Aldo Farnese, Mike Dixon, and our studio coordinators, Ren Hendrick and Walt Yost, plus the first of the crew at Channel 29. Michel Bergeron, who's been through the war so far in the playoffs, on the far side, obviously knowing his team is going down. And Eddie, it's amazing. This club is now going to be 4-3 on home ice. Flyers along with Edmonton, the best home records. Neither has been defeated, and that's what the Nordiques are going to have to go against Thursday night in 16 regular and playoff games at the Spectrum. The Nordiques have won but 1 time. Gillis, Kumpel, Moeller, Price against Philadelphia. On with Carson, Howe, Ronstadt, and McCrimmon. Puck in the Philadelphia zone, taken away by McCrimmon on a dandy tonight for Philadelphia. You can start whooping it up, my friends. This one is in the suitcase. The coming home to Philadelphia. Up ice, Mark Howe flips it into the left of Gosselin. Rolls off the stick, and then he pulls it back under him to Pat Price. Price looks to see if they can't get some home runs here. Outlets on the left side to Hunter as the penalties are over. A play through to Gillis. He can't handle it. Flyers take it. Howe, a little tough to himself. Zezel picks it off. Boom! He runs right over Hunter and knocks out 2 panes of glass. and Mark went up for Peter Zezel.
Well, they just had that double minor together, Hunter and Zezel, and Hunter was going in there looking to take the body, but, Hunter was going in to take Zezel all the way, but Zezel was peeking. He could see him coming, and he braced himself, and boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, there's two locomotives that are going to bump. Hunter was actually upside down, coming down to the ice on his head, and his skate got up and caught the glass, and all of a sudden the glass just exploded. But boy, I'll tell you, there was quite a collision. You got two boys with 195 pounds each, and they bumped, and the glass went.
Mr. Van Imp, would you consider that the perfect cherry on the top of the winning Sunday tonight?
It was a good body check right in behind the net. They both were looking for each other. They both were aware they're going to collide. Neither backed off, and boy, I'll tell you, Hunter went up and over and down on the top of his head.
I'll tell you one thing, he'll be there on Thursday, though, number 32. He's a good competitor. Peter Zezel, of course, with that soccer experience, is built like a bricklayer across the shoulders, and that's one place Mr. Hunter would have a tremendous disadvantage. But he went in a cartwheel, and I think what happened, Eddie, when his skates went up in there, his skate kicked the glass on the pressure point, broke that Herculite, which again, when we say break, it sort of shatters, as does automobile windshield glass, and all this is going to do is delay the inevitable, as the Flyers have this one sewed up with 4-1 with 29 seconds remaining. And we have to wait now, not so much merely to replace the glass, but to get rid of all of that debris around behind the net. Let's give you a quick summary of what's happened. The Flyers broke the ice on the shorthanded goal by Davey Poulin at 11:16, his first of the playoffs from Craven, while Lindsey Carson was serving one of the 15 penalties in the first period. Poulin, about 2 shifts later, went to the dressing room, came back, and then went and disappeared for the evening. We'll only know his hurts in the post-game interviews. We went into the second period. Murray Craven then on a bullet from the top of the right point. Michel Bergeron, the Quebec coach, looking on impassively as he sees the clock working well against him with 29 seconds remaining. Craven on a bullet from the right circle. His first of his playoff career for Marsh at 2:18. Dale Hunter again, knowing the inevitable, sitting there waiting for the repairs to the glass. And then maybe the cruncher, two of them. On a power play for the Nordiques, the big goal scorer Goulet fanned on a shot 10 feet in front. And then while the teams were playing 4 skaters each, with Mr. Hunter and Ron Sutter in the penalty box, with just 21 seconds remaining in the second period, Sinisalo a wrister from the left circle for his fourth, Zezel the assist. And then on it, Bobby Taylor went berserk up here on what appeared to be a hand pass from behind the net, clearly by Lane Lemieux, to J.F. Surveillez in front. He scored a power play goal at 4:51, his fourth from Lemieux and Wilf Paymont. Nordique started a little rush after that. The Flyers tightened up, and then Patterson is steal just inside the Quebec blue line, broke in and backhanded it over Gosselin's right shoulder for the insurance goal.
Gee, you got to be impressed with the Flyers coming in here, that he started the game without Timmy Kerr. They lost Davey Poulin late in the first period and was not able to come back. And this team's character just seems to be building as the season is progressing. And they really played a big game here tonight when they had to. The Nordiques won the first one 2-1, so the Flyers had to win a game in here. And no better time than to right away the second game, and that's exactly what they've been able to do. Put a good, solid game together. 29 seconds remaining. They're in command here, 4-1. There's a delay. The glass to be replaced in behind the Philadelphia goal.
Can we go with what Freddie Shero there? Again, the check by Zezel, as Hunter looked and was just knocked on a pinwheel, and when he went up and his left skate kicked back against the glass, it shattered it. But can we go back to that line of Fred Shero that may be appropriate for this team? Fred said, we didn't have the best players, we had the best team.
That could be well spoken, because Fred Shero had a lot of great quotes, but that was one in particular that I thought was a excellent one, right on the money, because if you recall, Gene, and I know you do, that when Timmy Kerr was hurt the last time, the team went on a goal-scoring binge. Everyone was scoring goals, and they won the 4 straight games without Timmy.
Mr. Lindbergh has been unbeatable, except for what obviously should have been a disallowed goal. Nordique's bench down, but I don't think they're down too far. Remember, they went into Montreal and won
the 7th and deciding game in overtime.
And they won an earlier game there, in fact, 2 of them. They lost 2 out of 3 here and won 3 out of 4 there. All right, while we had this delay, we're going down to number 12, Tim Kerr, and Philadelphia's Bobby Taylor.
Thank you, Gene. And Tim, I guess the first thing that everybody would like to know is, how's the knee? Well, it's a lot better, and looking forward to getting back in there hopefully next weekend.
The game tonight. I know that you're pretty nervous. You're pacing the halls down here in the subterranean caverns of the Colisée, but the club played a lot better. It seemed like they got their skating legs tonight.
Well, they definitely did, and we came out of there with a lot of fire at the beginning of the game, and the guys were taking the body and weren't afraid to take a check, and they played a hell of a game out there tonight, and a lot of credits goes to them, boy.
One thing that I've really been impressed with is the way the Flyers check in the last 10 to 12 minutes of the period, and especially in the third period. They just seem to shut down Quebec entirely. They hardly got any opportunities.
Well, we've had worked on that all year, and it's something that it's a great thing when you come into the third period and have a lead that you don't give it up, and the guys have done it all year long, and they've done a great job on it. And again tonight, they didn't get very many good opportunities in the third, and and we shut the Islanders down in New York that one time, and it's a great thing to have, and the guys are very disciplined, and that's what it's all contributed to.
Well, it's been successful. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, Bobby.
Let's go back upstairs now to Gene Hart and Ed Van Impe.
It's funny, at the beginning of the show, Ed, we said that one thing a team has to do is battle against adversity. When you lose players, you have to pick up, and that's just what Philadelphia did tonight with new blood in the lineup, Thomas Eriksson, and up front they brought Richie Sutter and Lenny Hackborn, and I think all three acquitted themselves well.
They stepped in. They did the job that Coach Mike Keenan was looking for. We're going to go ahead and finish this game without putting the glass back in.
Well, that's interesting. They're not replacing the glass behind Lindbergh, so any shot that goes over his head is going to go back into the seats. And Mario Gosselin now is noted to the backside of the playing situation. Leon Stickle has to go and grab a roll of toilet paper. So it'll be an offensive left circle face-off for the Nordiques with 29 seconds remaining in regulation. 4-1 Philadelphia. Bring him home big on Thursday night, 7:30 on the radio network and Prism. Sunday night, game 4 at 7 on the radio network and Prism. The draw goes back. Price is shot. Lindbergh grabs, steers behind. Crosman is there. Oh, gives it right away to Gillis. His shot tipped right in the net. Score by Kumpel. And that was a bad play by Philadelphia, but it is an inconsequential goal right now, Eddie.
Well, Kumpel picks up that goal. It's the second one for the Nordiques of the evening. The Flyers had a giveaway. Crossman had possession of the puck, and he just turned it around the boards. And the shot was taken. The save was made. Olsen Kumpel was right there to put it up over top of goaltender Pelle Lindbergh. The time of that goal is 18 minutes and 41 seconds. Kumpel gets the Nordiques' second goal. As the rebound was laying there, Kumpel just beat Brad Marsh into the loose puck and put it up over top of Pelle Lindbergh. So the Flyers now lead 4-2, and we've got the Nordique goaltender is out of the net, so going with 6 attackers. 19 seconds remaining.
Puck back in the Nordique zone. Kumpel's last goal was in the first game of the Montreal series. He won it in overtime. Heyman up the middle. There goes Sutter through to Ashton. Shot hit the outside of the post from Paul Gillis. 5 seconds left. Don't fret, my friends. It goes back to the point, and as it slides up ice, the game is over. And the Flyers have done what they wanted by winning in Quebec. Final score 4-2 as we go back to Steve Coates.
Thank you very much, Gene. Stay tuned for the Pepsi post-game show on the radio side, while on the TV side we're going to say goodnight. We're going to be back on Thursday from the Spectrum.